And we're back with some LVO day one reactions, some community pictures, lists that we're going to go over, talking about the possible upcoming codexes, the previews from GW, everything orc related. Because welcome to the Whoa! Hello, everybody. So today we're going to have a very good one. Just so you guys know, we have in store, I have selected 5 players slash lists that I would like for us all to look at. From pretty much some notable players that I'm sure you guys would know about. Starting with, we're going to go with these 5 players in their list. We're going to see how they're doing at LVO, how we expect them to do, and go over their list, what we feel about them, us personally, everything we've gathered, you know, in these last, 2 months of play, but you want to consider a season, 3 months of play, how things have turned out for the Orks, then how the Codex is possibly going to look coming forward. We're going to go over lists from our Discord, pictures from our Discord, talk with you guys, interact. So feel free to jump in and yell at us, say anything you want to say, get your thoughts in, get your ideas flowing. But we're going to start with everybody's favorite billion-dollar comp farm fanatic, Tyler Russo. So he has his own channel. He's an excellent player. So let's take a look at what his list is looking at, not like nowadays.
And just want to mention that right now he is undefeated, winning his first 2 games.
I should have. Thanks, David, for doing that.
Round 3 is currently going on right now. And
boom.
The idea is towards the end of the stream, hopefully round 3 is concluded, and then we can take a look at that as well.
And what this is that you guys are now looking at is I actually have this, I forgot to mention this, a live document of LVO outcomes for the faction by faction. So here you can see Necrons at the top. It goes by players in column D, undefeated by E, and then it goes games played, wins, losses. So we can scroll down to actually Orks, and at this time there's 37 players overall at LVO that are playing Orks. 12 of them are undefeated after round 2. As the time of this recording is round 3 has just begun. We're about 1 hour in, and there's 54.8% win rate. That's where Orks are at right now for you guys to know. We're going to take a look at other factions, like here's Black Templars with 38 players that are there total, 12 of them being overall undefeated with a 56% win rate. So right there next to Orks, you can actually see that most of them played Righteous Crusaders. So not even playing Ironstorm or Firestorm. For the most part, they're you know, a lot of them are playing just straight up Black Templars. So this is another thing we're going to be going over. But like I said, let's take a look at some of these Orks players, and then we'll look at or should we look at the list factions first? Let me see what the chat says.
Yeah, we can hit up some chats.
Let's see what the chat says for you kids, because there's so much for us to talk about. Let's go. Whoa, G-Days, lads. So, chat, what do you guys think? We'll go over should we just go over maybe Tyler's list real quick?
Yeah, let's just hit that list.
I want to look at this gets list for everybody can understand. So here's Tyler Russo. Let's see what he's looking at after. He has 2 wins right now, all right? So he says, anxiety is a flat circle. All roads lead to disappointment. Okay, wise words from the Tyler. So we have a Death Killer War Trike with Super Cyborg Body. Let's go, Tyler. So you're watching the channel?
Let's go.
Tyler's watching. No, we're kidding. That's fantastic, Tyler. We love that. Everybody understands there's 9 wounds in that boy. He's T6. 4 Feel No Pain is beautiful in this game. Everybody loves that. Then we got a Knob on Smash Squig with David's favorite.
Everyone's favorite. Head Wappa's Kill Chopper.
Then we have
and 3 war bosses.
I love the trip war bosses. Then he's 2 10-man units of Beast Stagger Boys battle lines, 4 trucks, 2 Gretchen. And then we have 3 scalpels. One of them is looking more like a machete because it's a 10-man brick. So where those triple war bosses, he has 2 5-man knob units and a big knob unit. He's going for AP, power call, volume of attacks. You know we love the scalpel unit around here. But he also kept in line and attached 2 bricks of 6-man units of Squig Hog Boys with only 1 3-man unit on the side. So ready for the skirmish with that. As you notice when you looked at the characters, only one of them has a knob leading the unit.
Right, so he must still see value in that big man of unit without the character.
It must still draw enough fire and do whatever he wants it to do. Maybe it's the throwaway to draw the enemy's initial attacking, or maybe just without a leader, it has enough follow-up and they can go fight something else. Then 2 Stormboy units just for the scoring. So with this list, I assume he's taking, you know, tactical secondaries is what I was going to say. Another thing that caught me a little bit by surprise, you don't see a Maz instead of, like, you know, just chilling with the straight up Maz on here. He went for a Death Killer War Trike with the 4-up Feel No Pain. Let's say in you know, post data slate world that the data slate's coming up, let's say Maz gets for some reason an outrageous points increase. You might end up seeing this actually happen more often, especially if Tyler does really well going forward. You know, if the Maz ends up being too expensive, don't feel like paying for the Beast Balls and Squiggle Sword because he's not worth much without Ed Wappa. you might see people just taking the Death Killer to do a similar job, just draw enough fire for round 1 or round 2 so that you can get stuck in later. So very interesting my time with list, no, David?
Yeah,
No Maz,
95 points for that. You're saving like 100 points. That's probably why he had enough points to bring that second.
No flash kits?
Yeah, no flash kits. That's the biggest thing.
That's the
right?
thing. Well, he brought double giant squig bricks and the scalpel units. Normally, you see people bring one of this, one of that, da da da. He has redundancy in all of these tools. So that's Tyler Russo's list. Tell me what you guys thinking here. But as of now, he has 190 points. So he's only dropped 10 points between 2 games. And game 3 is going on as we speak. So chat, let us know what you think. Get in there. We're going to take a look at my favorite get. This is my dark horse / the person I greatly appreciate right now, Sean Naden. So Sean Naden is playing with pretty much most of my favorite orc models on his list. So as of the time of this recording, he has 2 wins and he's sticking with 195 points out of 200. So he's actually only dropped 5 points going into 2 games. So here is his list. Boom, another Death Killer Wartrike with the super cyborg body. They collaborated, but the thing is, they heard it from us first. No, I'm just kidding. So Death Killer Wartrike super cyborg body. Then we have Gazgul Thraka. Love my Gaz. Everybody knows why I love the Gaz. Can't underestimate Makari's lethal aura. Can't underestimate that one wall when you get the dev wounds from your bodyguard still alive on Gaz for his 4 damage that we really miss. Can't underestimate that 4 damage with the -3 wounding almost anything on the game in the 2 almost on anything in the game on a 2, minimum 3. So Gaz is always stepped on and pushed aside, but people understand in certain matchups, he really, really helps us in our hard matchups, which we'll talk about today too, when our estimations of what's going to happen in the Dead of Slate, right? When we have Captain Badrug, Mazrog, Scragbag, Staples. Then David's favorite too.
Ooh, the knob with wall banner.
Knob with the wall banner. You guys know I love this get.
And he's taking cunning but brutal.
I'm not necessarily surprised because what I've said is if you tag this unit once it gets out and not enough boys can touch you and fight you back, you just stop this unit from doing anything. So right. Cunning but brutal makes a perpetual motion that, let's say that you call a wall before this knob wall banner, you call the army wide wall, then he calls his wall round 3, then he gets stuck in, and then round 4 he actually jumps away from what he was touching, he runs into the enemy objective and storms hostile objective or home objective. So that could be amazing. That's happened to me when you have the knob with wall banner and you have the ability to just keep bouncing all over the table with Cunning but brutal.
Right. And with all that OBSEC too, like being able to bounce around too and jump to other objectives.
And just let people either know that you can do that, and then it gives them all the incentive to actually kill that unit instead of just tag it, right? A smart player would just tag it with the transport, barely at the tip of it, not let enough boys touch it, avoid the power claws, right? A smart player would go, where are your power claws? Okay, I'm going to tag this boy in the back that has a rocket, hypothetically. No one has a rocket, but that's how you would weaken this unit. He probably realized that and said, I'm just in a Cunning but brutal. So then we have 2 war bosses and then follow me lads. Oh, 3 war bosses. Sorry. 3 war bosses, but 1 has follow me lads. I assume that's with the knob with wall banner unit. Maybe.
Right.
Then here's a 20-man unit of boys. No rocket, like I said. Just so anybody knows, the 2 trucks and a battle wagon. What I always say is my personal favorite orc unit, or model, like just personal what I love. I like that it's a weird combination of arms, and when you listen to lore, there's like a bunch of them spanning the battlefield, and orcs are running off them. So he brought a battle wagon. They're underestimated all the time, with the built-in reduced AP.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of good options to put in there too.
Yeah,
the flash kits. I mean, we saw Captain Badrug earlier in the list. 2 units of Gretchen. The 2 Meganabs to assist Gaz, and then 2 5-man nabs.
Yeah, tiny scalpels. No, that's a real scalpel, I guess, right? We might have to call our scalpel a machete now.
Precision scalping.
1 biker. I'm wondering if he put the biker with the trike or runs them alone. I know some people are like, I'll put a trike by itself, and then some people are like, I'll run the bikers with it. I actually do like the bikers because the smart player would be like, might get lucky and go, I'm just gonna put a couple tank shots into you, you fail both your 5-up invulns, and then you just don't roll great feeling pains. You might just die with the trike. The war bikes being in there gives you ablative wounds, so the player is going to attack you with these las cannons possibly and everything, and have to put more armed weapons into you. But people also like having 2 different units. That way you have to activate more. So I understand both arguments. But with this list, like there's a bunch of different things that could be commented on here. Not with wall banner, super out of the box. People don't see that coming. People don't even know what's happening. Most people don't ever think about that model. Battle wagons are always super slept on with their odd durability. And then the Death Killer Wartrike with the 4 Feel No Pain that we have. Maz, Feel No Pain, and you have Death Killer Wartrike. Plus the auto advancing 6 put so much pressure, run up the table, do secondaries, especially if you're doing fixed, which I know Sean Naden does. I think he still does at least. That helps him consistently do the fixed secondary over and over off the bat.
I'm pretty proud of you. You resisted to hit the link this time, Eddie.
Oh yeah, yeah, the link.
Avoided the Rickroll.
Okay, yeah. If you guys know what that Sean Naden's little link is, that's a Rickroll. That's a Rickroll one, right? David's laughing because he's got me before. Yeah, he got last time he got me, Sean. All right, I'm one of those gets. Right, Sean, I'm one of those gets that I was like, what is this? And they was like, never gonna let you. And I was like, what the heck is this? So here are the other Oslo players. Shout out to Tarzan, but he did actually lose his second game. Richard Kilton. So he's actually almost like a regular, like as in if you look at some of our other WAAAGH Wednesdays and people have done great at GT level, either going 4-1 or just straight up winning events or placing undefeated. Richard Kilton's at least showed up twice, if not 3 times, in the last 3 months. So
yeah, he was making a name for himself early in the meta with Burner Boys.
Oh yeah, that's why David remembers
him. I remember him.
Yeah, and he's very, very nice. He is sitting at 174 points, but it's still early. So let's see how our personal lovey git is doing. I didn't even know, but he bought gas too. I don't know how to notice that already. I looked at the list and I don't know. I looked right over that part. So we have Gaz,
Captain Badrook, Mazrag, Nabon Smasher Squig with Head Wappa's Kill Chopper, of course.
Kill Chopper.
And a War Boss with Follow Me Lads.
You know, you guys tell me comments. Do you guys really love paying for the enhancement on Follow Me Lads? Some lists swear by it. They put it on the Beast Boss. Some units swear by it with the War Boss. I'm like, man, 25 points is sometimes just steep in it.
As a wise git once said, 2 inches matters.
Oh, he got me with the 2 inches. Woo! All right,
it's almost like I'm a fan of the show.
Yeah, but the 2 inches does matter long term in the game. He ends up Follow Me Lands ends up on about like 25% of it. So if I build 4 lists, he ends up at least on one of those 4 lists. The Follow Me Lands enhancement. So here's the Beast Boss, 110 million to boys. 2 inches matter. 1, 2, 3 trucks. Here's 2 units of Burner Boys. David's happy about that. We wonder with Richard Kilton, does he kind of think of it like puts both of them in one unit and just kind of flames out of that? That's kind of just, he loves that, huh? Flash gets in 1. 3 Gretchen unit. Meganons with custom shooter. Hey, well, I guess it doesn't matter because either were gas. I was going to say I want my twin kill sauce.
5-man Nob. So I'm wondering if a SWAT team possibly in play here.
Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna say. Is he gonna run the SWAT? You put 5 knobs and then a burner boy in 1 truck. Like we call that a SWAT team around here because you have the shooting, you have the guys disembarking from fighting, the transportation. It sounds lovely and it is lovely. So that's one iteration of SWAT. You can also use flash kits if you want like a fat man unit. Then you have this 1 squig hog boy and then 2 storm boy units. This is something similar to what I like kind of run like the archetype, but this 5-man unit of knobs, I find it interesting that people will still willing to go out of their way to pay for a war boss and a 5-man unit of knobs, even if it's just 1, right? People will run 2, but he's like just 1 is just enough sometimes because he's running the SWAT. So that's very unusual list with this just 2 battle line units. You just stick along and hang along with they don't have like a beast snag character, right? Or another dude. They're just guys on foot that can be in a transport, nothing super spectacular. I'd really like to hear why he decided those tech pieces were, pivotal or needed and necessary, just because some people just gave up on 10-man units of boys, right?
Yeah, they did.
Oops, sorry. Sorry, guys, I just threw this around. I'm searching the list. So, and then after Rich Kilton, we have, and remember, we're going to look at Brad Chester's list. I'm aware that he's playing Orks right now, too.
Did we look at any of the matchups just to get an idea of what they're playing into?
Maybe after the because if we're gonna try to stream as long until this is over,
right? I just figured to buy more
to the game 3, we could. That would not be a bad one. We can go back and look at them. Here he is, Connor Haugen, right? I just wanted to go over all the people. We can see what they're playing right now, maybe what he's playing into right now. He's playing into Drakari right now.
Oh, is that Skari?
Is this Archon? Oh,
so Scari's home. No, Scari's homework.
No. This is Zach. Okay. Relic.
I just saw
we read the name. Yeah.
Like, oh,
so he did Scari's homework. Sorry. We should have actually looked at Connor first. So here's Connor. Yeah. He's actually been on the channel before, I believe, as well. Otherwise, he's a part of that team. I thought he was familiar. I'm pretty sure he was on
the well-known
faction too. So he's 2 wins, 180 points. So he's also doing excellent at this event. Right now, ranked 78th. So here's his list.
We got Captain Badrook, Mazrog, 1, 2, 3 war bosses, one with follow me lads.
Okay, I guess you guys are going to make the argument for me without having to make much of an argument back. It looks like people are paying for follow me lads and
Yeah.
all of these very respectable players that I find respectable personally. So here we
Yeah,
have
Wartsnaga too.
Oh yeah, sorry, and Zodrog Wartsnacker for that scout.
And 3 trucks. We got the flat 10-man flash kits, 2 units of Gretchen, 3 units of Gretchen. Oh yeah, of course. Oh, and he's running the 20-man blob. Okay.
That 20-man block with all that OC. Man, here we go. Guys, that's 2 kind of big 20-man bricks you see from respectable players. So maybe the Tide isn't on everybody's list, but people are finding ways to run bricks, so be encouraged.
Yeah, we've had discussions whether or not to go the 20 or the 10-man when you're bringing Zod, and it seems like he favors
people argue with both, yeah. And just mobs as well. People have been bringing the Pain Boss with 20 Beast Snagger Boys or the Beast Boss with 20 Beast Snagger Boys. So, you know, check our other videos, but mobs or boys are awesome. Then we have 2 knob units. Both of them are big old scalpel units with 10-man knob power claws, but he also has a 3rd unit to catch us all off guard with the triple war bosses. All right, so triple scalpels. My boy is coming in here looking like a blender, followed by 3 Storm Boy units and a Warbiker unit. Wow, so he's just going for all power claws, strength 9, strength, and then 2 AP, 2 damage, and the flash gets to follow up on that. You know, not really much squig potential here besides Mazrog, right?
Yeah.
Kicking it a little bit old school, just trucks, getting downfield. So much -1 to wound if you really think about triple different break units. That's like, you know, I mean, 700, 800 points of his army. That's just -1 to wound built in.
Right.
Just here we go. This is my
and I like we're seeing some variety here in the sizes of the knob units, and people are still finding success.
And what they're using the supplement and support. Some people are like, I'm going to bring redundant lot. Some people are like, I'm going to bring other type of offensive support. And some people are like, I'm just going to bring scoring potential.
Yeah, it's always cool to see when you can see multiple ways of playing.
Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting. Connor is going to should have a pretty respectable outcome. So we did him. And then last and certainly not least, everybody's favorite. Oh, I went the wrong direction again. Everybody's favorite get of
Brad Chester.
So let's take a look at Brad Chester. He's at 180 points, 2 wins. And let's take a look at the list real quick. We have Captain Badrug.
And Mazrog. You got the Knob on Smasher Squig with Head Wappas Kill Chopper. And again, another war boss with Follow Me Lads.
Is this like 5 out of 5 people that we cover that follow me lads? I feel like y'all are going to start crumping me. All right, yeah. So
and then second war boss.
Okay.
Then 3 trucks, 10-man flash kits, 3 units of Gretchen.
3 units of Gretchen.
And then 2 10-man knobs.
Dude, all these knobs, boys. Let's go. We pointed out knobs around here. Literally, when the channel started, I was like, you guys, just so you know, knobs are like the best unit in the codex, and that you guys are going to rely on them as it develops. And I was 100% right. Give myself credit.
It took this long for it to be consensus.
Oh yeah, yeah, pretty much took this long to be consensus, which sounds right. Then we got 2 squig small skirmish units and 2 Stormboy units. I'm not saying it because I'm awesome or better than everybody, guys. I'm saying because the channel and I get to gather all this information and from my own opinion, all conglomeration made me think that was my opinion and the kind of the community's opinion without really talking about it. Now it's like a consensus. That's what I meant by that. So don't go thinking this guy's fat. All right. So, but as for Brad Chester's list, what I was talking about with Christian earlier was that this looks very similar to like my original GT list when I went to the GT earlier this year. It had almost the same exact potential, but instead of the second knob unit power claws, I had a beast boss and beast snagger boys for the dev wounds. That was the difference in that list. So do I like this list? Yes. The one thing I found in weakness in Brad's list, but I'm not as proficient in being as killing and awesome, is I did feel like I lost some killing potential with his list because people could choose what was the biggest threat that they had to get rid of. Let's say they really, really hated squigs. They would just try to diminish that big squig unit very early with whatever they could. And I didn't have anything to supplement enough, which is possibly why he went for double knobs instead of a beast boss, because the beast boss / beast snagger unit of just 10 beast snaggers and them, they're like a deliberate linear tool of I'm looking for a vehicle or monster. When knobs, during the while, at least when they get up to strength 10, or if you pop on Briley Carnage, you do have the potential to spike even if you're winning on 5s on certain monsters and kill, or you just use something else to kill it, or you just jump it with both of them and diminish it out. So he decided, hey, the built-in -1 the wound on top of that is just more worth it than just paying almost equivalent points. They're not equivalent, I'm aware of that, but they're close enough points where you can drop a different Storm Boy or Biker unit and make up the difference, which is what he did. And I thought it was a good change. So great job by him, and he's obviously going to be doing great. So I'd love to see what it does going forward with that. Oh, and let's actually see what he's playing right now. I think he's playing.
Oh, Thousand
Oh no,
Sun.
this was his first
that's
game.
his first-
Yeah, that was his first game.
No,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah, see, I was doing that backwards.
World
Luckily, the other
Leaders.
one I had to pay attention to. So the other list we've seen with Connor, he had already played that Git. This is his list. Corn, literally a corn. So he's playing against Angron, Lord Invoc. I actually read that.
Lord Invocatus, World Leaders Lord on Juggernaut, the Master of Execution.
Master of Indirect Combat. If we come around here.
Because he's got that Berserker Glaive enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
Some 10-man Jackals. How many Berserkers has he got? Oh, just one.
Just one big brick to escort the Indirect Combat Boy. And the Rhino to escort the Indirect Combat Boy.
And then 1 3-man 8-bound, 6-man Exalted, a 3-man Exalted, a second 3-man Exalted, Chaos Spawn, 2 Chaos Spawn, 2 units of 2 Chaos Spawn.
And what these guys are decent for is that I believe they already have a built-in Feel No Pain. And then when you pick the army-wide Feel No Pain, that increases theirs.
Yeah.
To an even better, more efficient Feel No Pain. So
it goes from 6 to 5, right?
I think theirs goes to a 5. I believe so. So that's what
they
makes
can,
them kind of.
They can hit decent too.
It's their they hit decent. It's their version of I got a cheap unit. That's not Jackals. And then their Jackals, everybody knows they have sticky. I think just getting more Jackals would be worth it, but maybe he needed the points. This list of the keys were, at least with Brad, in my opinion, going into this is when you fight on death. Going into this kind of matchup, you're just trading out his Exalted 8-bound. You're trading out as soon as you throw a Squig Bomb into one of these Exalted that's behind the wall, they might bounce and not fully kill one of your Orc units if you did lucky and kill it out fully outright. These spawns will become too efficient in the skirmishing with Orcs, like a Squig Hog Boy unit kind of beats them up and beats them on OC. And then the flash kits as well. You got to remember, he still has flash kits to kind of deal with things as well. And then you have Maz, and so he does have to worry about Angron. It becomes a whiff. The thing with World Eaters is that they do have the potential to really throw Orcs on our back foot and be annoying to us, especially on certain missions or deployments like corners and such, where they can just jump on us with everything and try to dissect us. But that's where us having transports and them not having guns matters. And if they don't get lucky enough to bring Angron back right away when they throw him away into us and we just murder him, then they're really in a big bad place. Worst case scenario for us is that Angron gets into something we don't want him to. He fights, kills it, we kill him back, and then he fights on death, and then he comes back the following round. That's vastly different than like if the guy just gets charged and dies and then comes back. So these are all different things that happen in these games versus World Eaters that matter a lot for Orks. So pressure, mission, everything like that. But Brad already knows how to deal with them. So that should be a very interesting, fun game. I just wonder if that will affect his score. Is that right?
That was the 5th list, or do we have another?
No, that was the 5th list. So
hit up some chats.
We can actually look at chats real quick, and if we want, we can go back and in a bit or later look at as we talk about other things, but look at those other people we were just discussing and maybe like what their matchup is right now. Right. But I'm going to look at chat and also bring this up again because I want to talk about units. Right at this point, we should talk about what chat says, but also what are we expecting for this data slate with some of these guys? Because JW is going to see this, and he's going to be looking at this while this is happening. So we can already start kind of dissecting who's going to start getting hit, who we don't want to get hit, like who we got to look out for in our own faction, who's going to become our new predators or greatest opponents, stuff like that. We can start thinking about and talking about that too.
Yeah, then some of these win percentages are kind of be revealing on who is going to get the nerf hammer.
Right, exactly. GW's definitely been looking at this biggest event in the world right now, I believe. Yeah, GW's been looking at this and is waiting for a while. So we have a boy, Wade. Wade, make sure you go and grab that membership gate if you can. So he has Def Killer Ward Strike is growing on me. Used them twice against GSC and CSM. 2-0. Let's go. Yeah, just like the gits we talking about today. Yeah. Def Ward Strike's pretty sick. People sleep on him, but mind you, you didn't go around and watch other channels and them telling you, hey, Def Killer Ward Strike's awesome. Yet you see on several of these really hard-hitting players lists, they have Def Killer Ward Strikes. So it's almost like a hidden known secret. If you play Orks enough, you should know. Or if you're watching the channel, you should know. Because we're showing it out there. It's been around for at least a month or two that we've been showing awesome lists with the Def Killer Ward Strike. Mech, whoa, that's what I'm talking about. So then we have, what's Sean running? We already told you what he's running. We showed you. Whoa! But still shout out to you, Sly Wizard. Let's look at the, what's this, David?
Oh, word on the 2 inches.
On the 2 inches. That matter. They always matter. Let's go. And then we got WAPO. Whoa! Let's go get them 5 gifted memberships. Third Eye and Sly, Wizard, and WAAAGH. You guys better start collecting them memberships you get, because that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm talking about, WAPO. We appreciate it greatly, sir. Shout out to you. Hit us up. Let us know what you're thinking right now. We're going to take a look at what these factions are doing, too, and start getting our looks.
Yeah, and if you don't know how to accept those memberships, there's a option on this stream that you can toggle. And if you still can't get it, if you go to your advanced settings on your YouTube account, you might be a brand account, which just means you're a sub account of your Gmail account. So you just got to switch that over to personal, and you can pick up these gifts.
There we go. We've been wondering about that and how people weren't able to get them. So, WAAAGH, you're probably a what account? What'd you call it?
A brand account.
A brand account.
It's just a sub account of your main Google.
That's you,
account.
WAAAGH, most likely. So shout out to WAPO, so you guys can actually collect that. And he said, follow lads needs to boost the charge. Needs a boost to boost the charge. Okay. Yeah, and we have Here We Go to continue with that too. But he's saying it's pretty much vital and pivotal. We do need that. We do. So let me go look at what our boys are saying. Sorry, what our the faction sheet is saying here. So going into I want to talk about everybody's biggest bad bully. This is where Necrons are doing, in case you get you're wondering, right? 41 players, 35 of them are Canoptic. We have 12 undefeated of the Canoptic Court, 10 undefeated of the Legion. Then it has games played for each of these, so it's 70 and 82, with a 56% win loss in the Canoptic Court and a 51 with the Legion. So GW would be paying attention to this too, because the Canoptic Legion is what right now I think is going to become the most kind of like well-known, most reliably played. It's the one that has the 3-inch deep strike. And then you have the Catans being just way too like durable and being able to the field with the rates, and it might become oppressive just because it's an odd skew, because people run like 4 Catans. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have the Chaos Space Marines. Everybody knows how the Orks are with them right now. It's not too, we don't actually do that bad into them, and it looks like there's enough of them between the players that it brought down their win rate. But 24 players that are still undefeated, that's still a lot of players that are undefeated. So we got to keep an eye on that for the going into the rest of the stream for the day. But that's equivalent to the Necrons almost, with just the 4 points of overall. 4 players overall difference in them. So keep that right. Necrons right there up in tier with CSM and how they're doing right now at LVO. We have Space Marines sitting with 12 undefeated. So starkly different for having 65 players, which is still a lot. Still significantly a lot, but right now it seems like Necrons and Chaos Marines are the worst.
Yeah, so far that's the lowest overall win percentage we're seeing.
Yeah, and
44.
I don't think it catches anybody off guard, because that encapsulates all Marine players, and if you're still playing Space Marines, it's probably just for the theme, not because you're meta. Then we're talking about meta, Eldar, 60% win rate. You get 60% win rate on Eldar. So what nerfs are they going to get?
Right.
One off the bat, we all can know is Phantasm needs to just be worded a different way. Can't use it as often. Can't use it every phase as reliably. People like Art of War were saying, how about we don't use it into the Wraith Guard? I know Orks don't like the melee Wraith Guard too, for that reason, because they can actually move away from you and then move back in the charge range and get into you. So it's really annoying.
And that would be a simple fix, because they share that keyword.
Yeah.
Exclude that and it'd be fine.
Yeah. And I'm just want to point out, these are factions I'm looking at, guys, that I think are relevant to Orks directly, either because we beat them up or because they beat up and they're kind of predatory to us, because GW's gonna look at this and either gonna increase some of our predators and make them better into us, or weaken them. And that's happened before, right? Custodes used to oppressively murk Orks. We were at like an 18% win rate into them, and then they got to change, and now we're at about a 50% win rate into them. So this is why we're looking at this for context. And you get to like, why are they talking about other factions? Because we want to understand when we're looking at the data, it's like, who might get hit that's going to affect us. So we have the World Eaters with a 15 undefeated with a 57% win rate. That's still pretty powerful. Like we're talking about the world. I mean, Brad Chester's about to murk one, so
good represented with 50 players.
And then with that's more than Tyranids. Wow. Now you just said that. You brought that to mind. Yeah. That's more players and more undefeated than Tyranids as a whole as a faction.
That's crazy, because overall I think World Eaters are still one of the least played factions.
Yeah, they're still one of the people just know they're strong, but one of the least played, least amount of models. I mean, I guess it's kind of cheap to collect, right?
Well, especially if anyone picked up that Christmas box.
Yeah.
Their version.
Oh yeah, that was super. Yeah, you
That
can
was
pretty
a
much
great
run that
start for
for
them.
this event. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. So that being said, people are running the invasion fleet, which is kind of like, this gives me pause and food for thought, because our orc players going to look similar. Are we going to get our codex and then look back on what we consider sustained sixes? And a lot of the people go, hey, I actually really like Artist Nails. It feels really good. I really like sustained sixes in melee. That's really good. A lot of the time, orc players stay playing Goths, you know? So
Right.
is that going to be us, where we look at us, let's say we break down this similar thing 6 months from now, and it's 22 players still playing Goths? You know, that's what I'm
Yeah,
wondering.
it might be similar to how Space Marines Gladius Task Force is just a overall good options for the detachment, and people just keep going back to it after testing out some other detachments.
Yeah, for sure. Then we have the Leagues of Voltan right there with 40 players, 11 undefeated with a 55% win rate. This is a faction that does really well into Orks right now as a whole, right? Of course, we can beat them, put them on the back foot, corner them, but missions matter, lists matter, who goes first matters, all of those things. So Leagues of Voltan right now, they're just like super cheap, like they're Terminators, super dirt cheap. They get so many of them on the battlefield at once, so many of their transports, kind of like we used to get our trucks so much on the battlefield at once. They're an odd toughness for Orks, and the Terminators do everything for them in the Orc matchup, oddly enough. You know, they have blast weapons from their shoulder mounted. They have the melee potential to punch even into Squig Hog boys enough, and knobs. They have their primary weapons that are good as a whole. They have the transportations that are good. Sorry, the armor save. We were talking about how hard they're good into Orcs, but their armor saves being a 2-up base armor save with the T6 is also a reason that they do well into Orcs in an odd way. So dropping Terminators, I think, automatically starts affecting how they do into Orcs. So I'm expecting them to get worse into Orcs. But then if you also hit the transports that are also getting up the table, occupying the mid board, holding us up while they kind of move and put more tokens on us and dissect our best units, you get rid of more of those, and then you've also affected directly the Orc matchup, because we don't like trying to pop transports. So we're gonna get that. And it's my the iPad. And then so yeah, we have to pay attention to the Leagues of Voltan for that reason. So but I can see them be going from one of our hardest matchups to easily falling above a 50%, around a 50% win rate into them, as long as we don't get hit too hard and outrageously. So Leagues of Voltan 55%, but let's see what happens there. Now, funny enough, Astra Militarum, right? 32% win rate. Yeah, we all know into Orcs, they murk us kind of. They're like, we have like a 42% win rate into Astra Militarum. So they're sitting at least at this event with a 32% win rate out of 39 players. Only 3 are still 2-0.
So this is one of those armies where you wonder how many players are going there with a thematic army just to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
I'm surprised.
Yeah, this is easily the worst army in the game performing right now at this event that we've pulled out, because we're so far that we've shown. Because yeah, the other ones are just not enough big enough player pools to pull from them. Custodes are sitting at 26, and Knights, they're all at 40.
Wow.
But Astra Militarum sitting at 32. Bam, 32, boys. So this is what I was thinking. What are you gonna do when something like this gets hit? And they're already at baseline sitting with like a 46% win rate, 45% win rate. This is a faction that's gonna get an increase, most undoubtedly, in my opinion, or they should. And they're gonna get an increase, and they already beat the crap out of us. So they're gonna decrease our win rate. Our win rate into them is gonna go below 42, or what? That's what I'm thinking. I'm just wondering, right? We're just speaking out loud here, you gets. I just want to know. Or is their indirect such a big factor into the matchup that changing indirect but still buffing them is good enough? Right? This can go either way. They could leave indirect alone and realize this faction is just not good enough. They could hit the indirect of guard and then increase other things. Does that matter? Will that matter? But that's why we're looking at this. Death Guard is not doing as good as some people might have presented and projected with the 43, but only 8 undefeated. So people must figure it out how they work. Maybe people don't have the exact archetypes, like not running enough rhinos, not running enough plague marines themselves, and the right character combinations. Maybe they couldn't get their hands on the characters as much anymore, because we know the very potent list, but do you even have the potential to get those models? And Black Templars.
Yeah, Black Templars are about where we thought they'd be.
And we started that with them. So they're sitting right about where Orcs are, with 38, with 12 being undefeated. Then Thousand Suns with only 8 undefeated, Chaos Knights with 8, and then everybody else sitting here middling at the bottom. Just like Custodes. If Custodes decide to get an increase, they might become very powerful into us all of a sudden. Again, because they're sitting at a 50 in their weakest, what people consider their weakest form right now. What happens when they end up getting an increase and becoming way more prevalent, more powerful in what they're doing? Right?
Yeah, them and Knights are one of the weaker armies that got hit hard early in the balanced data slate. So I could see them trying to go back on some of these point increases.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I want to look at some of the the hobby pictures real quick, David, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I want to see some of the hobby pictures from the Gits because I know some of you Gits are in here. What I want to do is present the mech from my channel real quick. This is a side by side, guys. This is someone just painted this on the right. Boom. That's how excellent and proficient that the guy looks right now. Now let me see how this looks. Speaking of Snickrot. Nice. Now, I actually want to talk about Snickrot because we've actually seen him coming up a bit more in some lists. He actually did very well last week. But as we look at some of the best performing lists and factions in the game, how are they doing with infiltration / scouting? Right? It seems like the best performing lists in the game take the mid board of the table early with infiltration and just start right off the rip. So I don't know if I'm the only one on the back foot here going, hey, I don't know, man. 135 points a lot for commandos. You kind of sometimes want more than one infiltration unit. Are you willing to pay for a solo Snickrot? Right. Are you willing to just put in that other points to get the solo Snickrot on the table and already start the game there? You can then it opens up the chance for you to play fixed secondaries too, because you can know I can also redeploy him if he's still alive. I can start the game already earlier on the table and clear up that space for myself and move something else into the position. So a Snickrot, a key vital position going forward, just like I think the Death Killer Wartrike might be if we get hit, or in this weird intermediate period, and if we don't get hit by a data state change and we end up just having to play until our codex comes out, is Snickrot going to have to become interesting too? Or are we just going full power?
Right, I think him with the commandos, that package is just maybe a little bit too pricey. I mean, we saw one of our top war bosses decide to go with it's not infiltrated, but it's a pregame move with the Zod and the Grots.
That's true.
To do kind of do the same thing, get in the midfield.
I definitely want to keep an eye on how that one's doing, because I'm just not sold on a 20 big brick. It just takes up a lot of space, a lot of stuff, and get shots off at it. And sometimes people just run out of stuff to shoot at with their inefficient guns. So you gave them something to shoot at. Like, what else would a twin bolt gun shoot at anyway?
Right.
So it's like you're giving it something to shoot at. So I'm on the fence about that. To be fair, to be frank. And as for the chat, I don't know what you get to thinking, but let us know what you're thinking about the list or LVO or data slates. If you guys think Orks are going to get hit, are Orks going to get hit? Are our Predators going to get hit in a way that we're going to actually become even stronger and better at what we're going to do? That's another thing. And what the players are that we've seen that we looked at going into this event, going into LVO, some of these players that we were looking at today, some of their lists that they came and brought forward. Like, I actually wanted to see who Sean went into in that first game.
Yeah, let's take a look.
That's what I actually wanted to see.
Oh, that's the third game.
No, I did that last time too. The bottom game is actually their recent game, I think. Yeah, because how it builds upwards. This was, I think, his first game. I'm pretty sure on that, because on the other one, I knew what his I knew Brad Chester's game one. Or current game, it's World Leaders, and it was the bottom. So this is current game 3. So we have the Gene Stealers. Oh, so someone actually brought Gene Stealers. And how were Gene Stealers doing right now?
Yeah, Gene Stealers were a little inflated though, because I think there was only 14 players. So I mean, they're not well represented.
But if someone's still playing them at this event, I feel like they have to be pretty solid, though.
I think if someone is bringing them, most likely that player is highly skilled.
That's what I'm saying. If they're bringing them to LVO, it's probably a highly skilled player. What was his Git's name? Make sure we don't know who he is.
Colton. Is
Colton like a let me see. So what's awesome about this live document we're looking at here, guys, that I could have showed at, is it has top LEO scores. So we can actually look at these best. These are actually the top, I think, like 10, 15 players right now and how they're doing. Chester. There's Matt Sherwin. Here we can see there's Sean Naden right here. But no, that guy is not one of them. There's the faction performances. Here are the rosters. If we look at everybody's name, we can also look at the live stream. These are the people that are playing. If you go look at the live stream player, I believe. So
was that on
the War Games Live, possibly, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's showing who was actually there. But yeah, there's a live document, guys. This is changing after each event. This is going to change after the end of this battle round 2. And if we look right here at the time of this recording, when is this? What time is this battle round right now? Oh, I'll look at that in a second because that's from my work side. Let me look at what Sean Naden was. But I'm pretty dang sure this is actually his most recent game right here. What I wonder is his list into this kind of army. I mean, guys, being in transports is definitely going to help him to a certain degree. You cannot let that knob with Wall Banner Union get off it. Yeah, there's round 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're in the right one then. All right, cool.
You're saying the other.
Oh, maybe I was saying, but I meant this was round 3. Yeah. So okay, this is what's happening right now. So this is David verified for me that this is what he's playing into right now as it speaks.
So if he's playing him, then we know for sure this guy's also doing well.
Yeah, that means he's also 2-0 is what we're trying to go to get out here. That's why we had to verify that. So he has 2 big bricks of these the neophyte hybrids, 3 of them.
Oh, 3.
4 of them. 4 of them with another acolyte hybrid unit. Oof. The Resaboteur for the mortal wounds, the Keller morphs for coming off and shooting you. So this could be interesting. The Clamamis for the character bricks. So
yeah, early in the meta, this was the archetype that was finding success.
Yeah, it's interesting, and he's still playing it and he's doing good with it. So I really do have multiple questions. I mean, how is Gaz feeling going into this? So he doesn't have anything that he's gonna love going into, is what I'm pointing out here. What it does help is even a diminished unit of orcs with Makari's lethal aura going off during the WAAAGH, that Makari's lethal aura makes it so even a diminished unit of orcs can finish off these Gene Stealer kind of units. Because that's what I'm more of thinking is if you cripple, diminish these orc units that they go running in and they're completely gone, they probably won't be completely gone. He can still probably keep finishing things off because he has to continue momentum and not let stuff keep regenning onto the table, because that's what Gene Stealers just want to do. Just keep coming onto the table and kill you and occupy space. Really, the mission matters too. Goodness. There's a lot of factors going into this one that are just coming into mind. Because I haven't had a game into GSC yet, but we all know what their potential was, and we all know that it's mostly a player thing, like a skill thing when it comes to GSC. I want to see what is Tyler going into in his last game. This
Sweet Lou.
Sweet Lou.
Oh, Voltan.
Oh, we were speaking of Leagues of Voltan. Yeah, so we have Broken Iron Headmaster. Here, David, you read it.
All right, we got another Iron Master. So that's 2.
The Praising Glare. More tokens.
Okay. And then I don't know how to read this. Iron
Heel Champion.
Iron Heel Champion.
With
Grim Demir.
I think that means he gets back up. I think. And then just normal Hearthkin.
The Hearthkin, the 3 Sagittars, 3 Thunderkins.
Ooh. With the 2 of them have the Gravitron blast cannons, and then 1 has the SP conversion cannon. The conversion cannon is just a bit odd. I guess people like it. And then with here, he has the Berserkers. Berserkers are low-key good into orcs too, man. For 100 points, these guys can crump some orc units. They're kind of like knobs. They fight like knobs to a certain extent. And then 1 big brick of Terminators, followed by Land Fortress, and then 3 Pioneers. I would say, though, saving grace here is really that there's just 1 unit of Terminators at the Hearth card. Only 1 is actually good because I think that's what makes them kind of a harder matchup. He does have a good amount of Sagittars. He does have the good firepower with the Brokir Thunderkin with the Gravitrons, So I would definitely got to see.
I'm surprised he only brought 1 unit of the Terminators.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that too, because that's what I was just saying. I think is going to get their increase, is that they're going to get, an increase in their Terminators. But did you have anything to mention about the weapons for this? Or possibly why he brought the loadouts? I'll read this chat real quick. Maximus Black, Colbert, and War Tactics. Saturday done right. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. For us, it's Friday, right? So it's Friday for us. But well, Maximus Black, you can actually, hopefully, because WAP will possibly get a gifted membership. So try to chime in and grab one of those, and we appreciate the comment for sure. Now Tyler Russo with his list has a bunch of redundancy for his killing potential here. So he might have enough chunk and thickness to run down this list because it doesn't have enough Terminators. It just really goes down to how these guys go off with these Gravis cannons. So Dave, if you want to read them real quick.
Thunderkin, their blast cannons are 18 inches, D6 shots, strength 5 -2 damage, and anti-vehicle 2 up.
So I mean,
what?
No, he doesn't have anything that's going to be great into.
No,
not into. Remember, this is specifically Tyler Russo that he's going into.
Yeah, and they also fire Overwatch on 5s.
Okay. Yeah, so in Tyler Russo's list, he has nothing like that. He's running trucks with just dudes and infantry. He just has a bunch of trucks you could pop. So I guess he could pop trucks, but so close, 18-inch range.
Yeah,
you're already all over them at that point. So
they're slow.
And then the other one does the SP doesn't have enough volume to kill. Oh, you want to look at his list though? And then that's freaking I think Tyler's gonna run this guy over. If you look at Tyler's list, he just has too much redundancy with his knobs and such. And he does have Pioneers. And I think Tyler knows enough. Don't let these Pioneers come in. Sorry, it's this one. Don't let these Pioneers come in enough off the table edges. Here we go. Sorry, I was reading something, guys. This is the conversion beamer. And then the other guys have it looks like I'm reading what the Terminators have. They have the plasma. Sorry. They have the plasma guns and the grenade launchers. Okay. So that's the proper loadout, I think, into Orks for now. But with Tyler's list, he has multiple squigs. He has the feel no pain to draw off the damage and the automat advancing 6 to get up the table and start taking up that space and not get held back right away. And all these knobs with -1 to wound is just throw up the Leagues of Voltan math in his head. Because he's thinking, I'm getting +1 to wound on all your stuff. And you're like, oh, -1 to wound now. Here I am. And then you can also pop Artist Nails to do it again. So you definitely just mitigate it. So that'd be excellent. Not that you even need to, because you have the squigs too. And they can choose to do it. So the feel no pains can throw that on his head as well. Very I think Tyler has this game.
Right.
Not that I'm trying to jinx it or anything, but I actually think
this list looks like it was built for specific matchups that aren't Orks.
Yeah. He's gonna be one of those players that did not have the tools to take out Orks right now. So I'm just gonna if my head messed up, I said Tyler. I'm gonna say Sean Nathan's game. I definitely think he can win it. There's a couple ways that can go wrong because his big brick of banner guys isn't really that necessarily durable, and he does have the army where you can dissect it because some of those units don't want to get cornered and shot on its own like a Gaz. But then Tyler Russo's list, it's like you kill one knob unit, there's another one, you kill one squig unit, there's another one, you kill the second knob unit, there's another one. So there's a bunch of just stuff, and then he has the auto advancing 6 to throw him off the table because usually WAAAGH's just kind of slow. The Trank's like, oh, I'm up here, boy, and taking up a lane right away, so your squigs can fill the lane is the point. Right, we always talk about how the transports and everybody hold all your squigs back. That big unit squigs could run up the table and start destroying stuff too, in the trucks. So I think that's gonna be cool. I want to see who Brad Chester was going. Oh, we already said Brad Chester was going into the.
We did look at it.
We did. He was looking into the war leaders. But I don't know Richard Kilton's because this is my boy right here.
Oh, war leaders.
You went into him too, with almost the same exact list. No, this is the same exact. I'm lying. This is the same exact list, guys.
Yeah, this is the same list.
I'm goofy, but he still has the killing potential that we mentioned, anyways. He has the same exact list. Am I crazy? Yeah, it's the same thing. You fight on death with the war bosses and the knobs. You have the flash gets to Overwatch, and you have Captain, and you have Gaz. So when you get Makari's ability going off, that means just not your knobs have to kill him. Angron can be killed by Gaz or all these different kind of orc units that get lethal. But the burner boys don't really have anything to do in this game.
Not in this matchup.
The only thing that they offer is -2 AP. And the knob units are kind of small for that fight in depth. So actually, why was I thinking that I want to see what Brad Chester's fighting right now? This just brought me back to I want to see what Brad Chester's fighting. Is he fighting like a very similar, the exact same list?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was
I'm like the exact same list.
I don't recall this. Yeah, because you have the corn. Yeah,
damn. No, it is the exact same list.
Yeah, it is. Well,
guys,
this is the archetype.
This is not, you guys know, it almost caught me off guard. I'm like, I could have sworn, bro. I did not, I did not click him. Yeah, it was like, no, that's what it is. Like he said. Sorry, I'm deleting some of these extra lists that I have up here. That's hilarious. Oh, so he's getting the same exact matchup that Brad Chester is on the same exact round. Oh, that's exciting for us as orc players that are observing this. Now, how does his matchup list go into it? I don't think he has as much favors as Brad Chester's list does, but because Gaz can end up getting taken out in a weird way. But You can ride the 2-up invuln and get lucky.
Yeah.
There is that. You could ride the 2-up invuln and get lucky on some of these super crazy fights. But Burn the Boys don't necessarily have anything to do in this matchup. That's more like an Eldar thing, right? Here we go. I got some stuff to kind of touch you. And he doesn't have the Squigs are going to be so vital in this game.
He's only got like 1 unit in the Squig Hog Boys to be a fight on death candidate.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. What's a great fight on death candidate? Because even like because this dude has a even with the Cornzerker squad, right? They have a couple plasma guns in there and whatever, where they could choose to pop a couple of those knobs before they get into combat with you,
Right.
so it's not an effective fight on death. And this is a big unit of Cornzerker, so you're still not going to kill them all because remember, World Eaters have reduced damage by 1 in combat.
Yes,
So they can just reduce our damage to 1. That's why you need the volume and the big bricks of knob scalpel units. That's why I'm so favorite of them. Because they really swing the matchups like against World Eaters and these armies that you're going to choose to fight on death with. You're like, I got a big 10-man unit. What, you killed 2 with plasma guns? Fight on death, just murky now. We traded. Like, that's how that is looking at. And, you know, I don't think Richard Kilton's list has such a direct game plan of course of action to deal with that. So that's going to be a hard matchup for him. I definitely got to see how he's doing after that one. Right. Because then we just pulled up. They're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, because I was looking at Richard Kilton, my boy here. He played against the same exact thing. And he has almost the same exact points as Brad Chester going into it.
I mean, with how many World Eater players are doing well right now?
That's true. We've seen how many were undefeated, right? So that's a good point. Is how many of them were undefeated. Sorry, I'm getting my boy out here. Where's my boy?
You're looking for
there he is,
Pagan?
Connor. No, he was number 7. I came the longest direction to get to this point. Let's see what his last game. This is fine 3rd match he's going into right now. T-Suns Vito. Let's see David go into it.
Yeah, so we got Armin, Inferno Master, Magnus Red. You're always going to see him.
Always.
Thousand Suns Demon Prince. Okay, it's a little different. Sorcerer. I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of another Sorcerer. And here come the rubrics.
Let's see how many do you think there's gonna be? 20?
20. 20 total, you mean?
20, yeah.
I'll say 4.
I'm gonna say 25 total.
4
All right.
units.
25. Let's see.
Well, one's a 10-man.
Another 5. Another 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
units.
you got it exactly. Wait, no, wait, what? Was it 25?
Well, it's 25, yeah.
Oh, I got it exactly. Oh, I got lucky. Okay. Then we have
The Rhino.
Rhinos, Zingor.
Blue Horrors and Chain. Yeah.
He brought
I wouldn't be scared.
Yeah, I wouldn't be scared. Yeah, just not enough units, dude. What the heck? It's pretty much Magnus and stuff.
Yeah, Magnus, that 10-man rubrics. You pop all the rerolls and death wounds, and you blow your load for 1 turn, and then you get smacked back.
Yeah, and he has the infiltrating, he has a scouting capability, triple war bosses, Maz, Captain Badrook. Yeah, 3 bricks of knobs. When you kill, you got. They do have the potential to kill him, but even leftover ones that survive, right? You can just murk. Even if it's like the war boss and 1 knob, just get in there, they kill those dudes, no problem.
Yeah, once he loses Magnus and that big man of rubrics gets crippled, like you got nothing after that to play the game.
Nothing.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he scores 100 in this one.
Oh my goodness, awesome! That's cool. That's so far. It's been looking like we favor. Out of our 5 players that we were talking about,
Connor and Tyler.
I was saying Tyler should be winning. Connor probably going to win. Richard Kilton is going to have a tough one.
Yeah.
Sean Naden's having a tough one, and Brad Chester's having a kind of we don't know the player skill because you have to be pretty good to challenge him even with the hard matchup. But Brad Chester's having what we would consider a hard one with World Leaders, kind of.
He's got a little bit more tools than Kilton in dealing with that matchup.
Yeah, that's what it is. And he doesn't have all of it to directly just murk them, like waffle stomp them, but he does have enough tools to pretty much beat the crap out of the World Leaders. Brad Chester does. It's just on missions and certain times, World Leaders can just catch you off guard and just be like, whoa, what just happened? I mean, we all have had that happen to us before. With that being said, Tomcat with the gifted memberships. Yeah, let's go, everybody. So Dogacus, Maximus Black, Devo, C83, you get that memberships. All you got to do is collect them. David, how do they do that again? Because
you'll see an option on here to accept memberships within this live stream. And if you're still not allowed to get them, you have to go into your advanced settings on your profile. Make sure you are not a brand account, and you'll be able to receive them.
That's what I'm talking about. So, whoa, the Tomcat, baby, let's get it. Let's go, dog, because I see you showed up. Yeah, finish those snake bite conversions. How many of our boys are at LVO and how are they doing? How many boys from our Discord? I think right now I'm aware of one. He ended up getting, I think, food poisoning or something, like a little bit on day one. He had a forfeit at his first game. So but he did show up and continue to play his second game. So he's still playing. But yeah, we have a gate from our Discord chain hanging out there doing a good time. I don't know about anybody else than that. Brad Chester and I were talking about it. And for any of those wondering, Brad Chester, like we went over for our live doc. Sorry, I didn't mean to take off this from the screen. I was trying to show some of our pictures from our chat, but from this live document, when we look at our top players, Brad Chester is actually the highest ranked person at the event, and he's playing Orks. So that should be pretty telling to you as Orc players on how confident people can feel about Orks with their familiarity. He said, one, because the amount of games he's playing, he wants it to be fun, but then two, he truly believes Orks have the potential to win, or he wouldn't have been bringing this. Right? That's kind of, he was telling me about it, and he's looking at possibly playing 10 games if things go the way that he wants them to.
Dude, that's insane.
That's possibly 10 games of 40K. So that's pretty outrageously tiring. And this is what we're looking at going into the data set of faction versus matchups, right? So this is from 922 to 117. Okay. As of this time, Death Guard were our hardest matchup, with Eldar and Astra Militarum almost tying right there, and Tyranids coming all within very close of each other. And this is just, for Leviathan GP pack, if you want to see where we got these from with Goonhammer. All right. Leagues of Voltan. I would consider these already being like the top 5 hardest matchups, because anywhere around 45% win rate, 46, that's like you're kind of getting marked.
Yeah.
But like Templar, I think you just go either way. Some people are just really good with them. Some people are just not, just like Space Wolves. And then Orcs always seem to have tools and power armor. And what we talked about before, Adeptus Custodes. If they get an increase, we can see this swing on its head and throw us on the back foot all of a sudden. The only kind that wouldn't help them is against dev wounds. Like if their defense changed to apply to dev wounds as well for 4 feel no pain, then that'd make them feel a lot better, but it wouldn't matter for our matchup versus them as much, because we don't rely on that to kill them.
And that was one of the suggested changes that Art of War was making an argument for, is changing how the feel no pain mechanic works.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a while. They hate that.
I mean, I get it. Sometimes you don't. How often do you really see mortals? And there's a lot of units.
I mean, it's true. Not anymore.
Philippines just against
not
mortals.
anymore. So yeah, that's what it is today. So I'm not surprised. Yeah, but I think those are our 5 Orc players in the go. If our stream lasts that long, I'd like for it to last until the game's over. Let's see how long they have until the last match is over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look at that. I want to take a look at how long do we need in pairings. So if we can last 50 minutes of this gets you wall, we can get the final result of this round 3 and actually see how day 1 ends for our boys, right? Like we've seen right here. In round 3, Michael, Adolin. We can actually possibly see them, but I don't want to go through all of them, should I? If we can see some of the results already from our boys.
Sure. I mean, some Orc related
if we see an Orc one, I mean, that's if there's still a good amount of time left over.
Yeah.
You know who might be done though? Brad Chester. And some other guys. So who other? Oh, these are all of them. Let's
Can
see.
you search by name?
It doesn't have a search thing. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, it should have a search name. Go on the top.
At the top?
For pairings.
Oh, is this counting for Orcs right here? Let me see.
No.
Oh, it doesn't say their name.
Within
Sorry.
the actual website.
Oops. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I just clicked some extra. Sorry, guys. To the top, you said? Okay. Oh, this is too long. I should have
Yeah, dude. How many players are there?
There's like 900 players in this. Oh, okay.
Brad. Oh, there's more than one Brad.
There's a lot of Brads in here. Oh, Brad won right here.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Now we know. 93. There we go.
That was a comfortable win.
Let's look at Tyler real quick. So those were our guesses. That's funny because we just made our prediction. Let's see. Tyler, Mr. Russo.
Oh.
Where'd he go?
He got.
Dang. We were thinking he might actually do guy in here. Oh, no. We said that was a hard matchup for him.
Well,
it was the
I guess.
Oh, we said
wasn't too familiar with this type of archetype for.
No, we said we might run him over because the weaponry and the volume they have. But I guess he didn't go first. And that really could happen. You guys just take the whole table and occupy and score constantly. What I'm surprised by was how he diminished that score, because Tyler's list, I guess with those guys they were able to just pop all those transports,
right,
and they just dissociately discard everything that's inside of it. They do have the weapons, but dang, I'm a little surprised. I'm sure he'll go over it because he definitely covers his own GTs, which is actually pretty cool. But goodness, I did not expect that, right? I'm not saying losing the leagues is bad at all. We can look at this right here, which is why it's interesting we go over this. Leagues has been hard matchup for us already this whole time. So him losing to them is nothing to be ashamed of. You know, they do have the firepower between the strength of their weapons to kill everything. It's really, though, that I'm surprised because these are short range weapons. These don't necessarily have the volumes. The Zerkers do matter. Like I said, they're great into Orks. And only having one big brick of Terminators just a bit of surprised me because they do have all the potential to just murder you with their blasts, with their grenade launchers, and just do volume into you as your knobs. They can countercharge very well. I wouldn't be surprised if just everything went right for the Leagues of Voltan player, and then everything just went wrong for Tyler. Because I was actually pretty surprised. It's not that I'm surprised he lost. You know, it can happen. I'm surprised that was a score. That's all.
Yeah, I could see too by not maybe taking the second brick of Terminators that's at 300 points. You can bring more units.
Yeah, a lot of units.
You can bring more units, and then with all those extra attacks, it becomes a compounding effect with the judgment tokens.
Yeah.
So you pick which units you want, and you can deal with them fairly easy.
Richard's game isn't over
still
yet.
going.
Yeah.
What about Connor?
Shout out to Tyler. My bad. Sorry, buddy. I was favoring you, thinking you were all right. So
Connor, nope, they're still
going.
At it too, yeah.
Okay, Hunter's still going at it. That is interesting. We really are getting the results here. And who was anybody else they wanted to look at?
Was there?
Oh, Sean Naden.
Oh yeah, of course.
Huh. Oops, I clicked it again.
We forget?
That's who I'm really. That's my get right now. I'd be sad right now if I look at this and he's holding my breath now. Okay. Yeah, because everybody knows Sean Naden's a get after me on heart right now because he's pretty much running the kind of orc list that I love to run. You know, I got some inspiration from him. Was like, hey, you know, I want to maybe run gas. I already was running not with wall banner, so he didn't. You know, but the gas definitely like, hey, I see that he's loving gas, so maybe I should look a little more. Wow. Okay, that's cool that we looked at. That was our gets, right? So who was that just got eliminated? Gas, Russo?
Yeah, Russo's the only one that took it out.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, it can happen though. It can happen, and it's against one of our pretty dang hard matchups. So, definitely would love to hear his breakdown, buddy. So, we'll see what's going on. Yeah, for Tomcat, there's actually more than 3 org players that are probably still 3-0. Or you said, from our org players that we showed? Yeah. From the ones that we showed, 3-0. 3 of them are still 2-0, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when we keep going. So I just walked past Tyler Russo. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he just
Joe's there.
Yeah, well, don't say nothing to him. He's a little, just took it out. Even though he's a great guy, wait for him later, buy him a drink maybe. Tell him he's awesome. Yeah, so Tyler just ran let's go. Yep, these are the 3 undefeated by him. Yep, they're still going. We still have several dudes. Anthony Benelio.
Do you want to check those out?
Yeah, and Max Cantor. They're playing Orks?
Max Cantor is playing Orks.
I didn't know that. Okay, let me take a look at him.
Yeah.
Who was it? Max?
Yeah, just put Cantor.
Max Cantor.
Right there.
Let's see what this get. He won his first game. Let's take a look. Hold on before I forget. Who was the other get? Before I forget putting him up to.
Antonio Bandera.
Oh, right here.
Bilio. Oh, Xenos Petting Zoo. Oh, this is a big well-known team in the meta as well.
Yep. So let's see. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I clicked that. Okay, so yeah, there's that too. Cool. Okay, so let's go back to the first get that we were talking about.
All right, so this is Max Cantor. He's got a Beast Boss. Oh, another Beast Boss and a Death Killer War Trike.
Dude, everyone has followed me, lads. Let's go. And everyone has a Death Killer War Trike too. And a Gaz. What? Come on now. What's up? Gaz is where it's at. I'm telling you, gets, huh? We put that video out like last week about what is Gaz where he's at, and then people were like, "Nah, dude, Gaz isn't where he's at." I'm telling you, he's a lot of points.
Yeah, I think we got that out right before lists were due, and people listened to it.
That's true. That's exactly. We influenced all the payers that are significantly more skilled than us, probably individuals.
Way more experienced.
Way more experienced, right? They're at this event. We're like, "Yeah, I helped you there," like a bad teeth, like the person from an NFL game, right? Like, I told him he should have done that play. Yeah. That's me right now. That's me right now, guys. All right, so we have Captain Badrock. And then I also love this because we also covered this last week where we've seen another Beast Boss plus 20 man unit of Beast Snagger Boys. You get Great, reliable volume of strength 6. You compound that with Makari's lethal aura. You re-roll hits into with Makari's lethal aura, and you pop on Brandle Carnage. You get lethal sustain 5s. That way, you're just wounding and all those hitting, and re-rolling it into all the monsters and vehicles in the game. And you get the Beast Boss Dev Wound, so it throws you over the top, able to pull down Norns and all types of weird stuff, possibly. And you also can beat up like wraiths and everything. So this is actually a pretty cool tech piece. Then we have one truck, a battle wagon. What's up? And then we got flash gets. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 2 units of Gretchen, Mega Knobs with kill saws, because kill saws are the way. 2 big bricks of Squig Hog Boys, a small unit of Squig Hog Boys, and 2 units of Storm Boys. Excellent list. Has just about everything that you would want in it, besides the 1 unit of knobs. Where's my knobs capital unit, bro? What you doing with that battle wagon, bro?
He chose
the battle wagon. Yeah, he chose a beast stack of brick for the volume, and he chose more Squig Hog Boys. And like I said, no mods.
Right.
You see this weird substitute again at the top end table where they go, hey, for my 4 Feel No Pain, I'm not paying for a beast boss or Maz. My distraction's going to be fast and in their face, so they don't really get a choice if they want to kill it, and they're just going to throw shots into it.
Yeah, I'm not like exactly surprised that the Death Killer War Track is being taken, but I'm surprised that it's being taken now, because so far we've seen like 99% of Orks lists either take Maz or the Beast Boss. Now all of a sudden everyone's running the Death Killer War Track.
These top level players either had a conversation in their own little Discord, because they're actually in our Discord. I know you guys are hiding in there. And they decided they're going to use a super cyborg body in the Death Killer War Track. So that's fantastic. I love that. So shout out, to our enhancement video as well. Then we have If She Ain't 280. Let's go, you psychopath, right. Anthony. Let's go, Antonio. That's my boy. I'll buy you a drink just for that. Because Gaz looking like he's going to appreciate 280 girl too. So we got Gaz, Captain Badrock, War Boss, and then a Weird Boy. I've been hearing stuff from the big boss that the Weird Boy is where it's at, because you just get consistently fixed secondaries that you can rely on. Or secondaries as a whole for cards, right? Yeah. If you have cards, I'll swap a Weird Boy for some tactical cards. 1, 2 units of boys, 3 trucks, flash kits, and a gargantuan Squig. Let's go. He's the best orc in the event now. That's it. Don't want to hear about nothing else. Antonio's my favorite, because if she ain't 280, she ain't getting in the Squig off. You know what I'm saying? Work is stupid. 2 Gretchen, a unit of Mega Knives with kill saws, 2 Knives with power claws, and then 2 Storm Boys. Let's go. 280 Gargantuan Squig off rider. Let's go. We call her Bertha. Let's get it, chat. Shout out to Bertha. Can we get some squigs in the chat? What's going on here with Antonio Benelio for having the best list out of everybody? And the other one was Max, right? Max Cancer. Yeah, there's more, but shout out to Tomcat. There's actually more people than just those guys that are 3-0. But we'll see, hopefully. Right. Yeah, very sick. So, it was awesome, Tomcat. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I just searched it. Orks and Goths. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what we're just searching too. You can see we're searching Goths, but what we also have is how are Orks overall doing with our live document here as this change the scores have come in, right? Because we've seen Orks that lose a little bit, right? So let me see if my percentage went down. Not yet. They probably didn't put them results in. Maybe at the end of the battle round, they'll put more of these, right?
Let's pay attention to the games played, and it'll tell us whether or not got bid.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, that's what happened with there. Okay. So Antonio, and then Max, and then also the other gets we have that we're going to be covering too. So very cool. Who do I have it here? Brad already finished, right?
Yeah, Brad finished. Actually, Russo finished. See Sean.
I kind of want to check Sean one more time before I go away. Oh, was it pairings?
Back to pairings, yeah. And then you can just search again.
Only 40 minutes left. Here gets. Let's go. I'm excited. So, do you guys really think that we're gonna get hit with the data slate change, or do you think that Orcs are gonna get hit with nothing? No, it doesn't happen. You think Orcs are gonna get hit with nothing because we're gonna get a codex here soon? And if so, where is our revealed models? We had the preview here. GW didn't preview our stuff. What's going on there?
Right.
Let's see who's in the War Games table live. None of Orc players.
Oh yeah, that's what I was looking.
Yeah, sorry. There's what they're
here. So we got tabletop live stream and then War Games live stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
That one just concluded.
Oh, that's concluded already. Okay. Who won?
I didn't see.
Invasion?
I just saw him
Oh, okay.
showing the final score.
I should have probably searched this to
no,
look
it's
around
still
the
going,
factions.
He got
Yeah,
a final scorecard, so I thought it was over.
games detachment. This hasn't updated, I guess, with Brad Chester being finishing. So this is gonna update in a little bit, probably. All
But
right.
yeah, as far as those models, though, yeah, where's
going on,
where are the
guys?
orc
Tell me,
models,
what is
man?
our orc previews, guys? Where's our models? Where's our love at? What's going on? Squig in chat for our gets. And speaking of the Death Killer Word Strike, bam, Death Killer Word Strike while I read some of your chats. Let's go. Thank you for the squigs in chat. G Vent. David rated Vento. I'll be reading it wrong. David, let's go. Let's go. Whoa! That's finally showing some love. Let's get it. And then Paul Savage, wow, loving the live show. We appreciate it. All the squigs in chat to Wapo, to Christian Hudson. Let's get it, boy. Somebody responded. We're showing some life in our chat. You get whoa. All right. We got Wade, still not with a membership chat. I'm calling you out, you brown Umi. So we got pushed back further, book back on a back burner for Croots and more Marines.
Yeah, we did.
Mm.
I hope it doesn't mean the codex also gets pushed back because it's a little annoying.
Okay.
One thing though about the Croots, first off, those are some awesome models.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan of Tau, but I do like the Croots.
I do like finding something else green that I can beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, what's up? I mean, I guess sometimes they're blue, but so am I. You know, whatever.
But also, this kind of gives me confidence that maybe not this edition, but possibly next edition.
What?
We could see more because we saw Croots. We could possibly see more like squig units, and possibly a squig detachment.
That'd be pretty sick.
I mean, this would be way down the road, but
a whole squig armies or squig unit.
That would be awesome.
And that's true. They do have like a full. They're actually getting a full detachment role now for the squigs.
Oh, they are,
right? Yeah, they're gonna have. They're gonna play full. I'm sorry, crew.
Yeah.
They're gonna play a full group
Yes.
of Croots of armies. You know what? Go ahead, Tau. Find out what happens when you get stuck in. You guys just messed up. You think you're playing combined force of arms. I think you getting stuck in with the wrong gets now. But that's fine. That's fine. You know what I mean?
They gotta find out the
They
hard
gotta
way.
find out the hard way. You know, and they brought their own squig hog boys. You seen that?
Right?
You guys seen that? They brought their own squig hog boys. Like, we're not gonna crump them and eat them. They forgot squigs have the same power as Croot. For any of you new orc players, if you guys didn't know.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, squigs. I mean, I guess they don't directly eat them, but squigs will adjust and maneuver and evolve to what they actually want to fight and become. So don't ever sleep on that, you gets. Yeah. So I want to see what happens with these final gets and these results in the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so for you guys. And what I'm seeing here is we're not getting no respect from the chat on what you guys are saying data slate. What's going on with you guys thinking of our possible futuristic matchups? Because you guys ain't getting creative and thinking out of the box here. We see what's happening with the armies that we're going to start going against, right? That we typically already have problems with if we look at our meta faction breakdown and we look at if we pull up our breakdown of faction versus faction, we know these are the factions that we already have a harder time into, right? Then we also go look at what's actually happening at the LVO and some of these factions that are looking great with their percentage wins, like Eldar sitting at a 60% win rate overall as a faction, or Necron sitting at least at a 56% win rate with the Canoptic Court still, or 51. Like Chaos Space Marines still doing, even though they don't look like percentage-wise they're doing great, they have 24 undefeated right there alongside Necrons. So they're a huge faction of the undefeated factors, with just Space Marines just kind of barely hanging on. Then you look at something like the Astra Militarum, like I showed you gets, and no one's listening to me, but guess what? 2 months from now, you guys will be. That dude, I'm joking, of course. That the Astra Militarum, or that passed their 32. Their win rate's so low that I'm passing it. Where's your 30?
It's not registering.
It's not even registering on my power level scanner right now, guys. What's happening with their horrible win rate? Did it drop even more?
Did it update? Maybe that's because I was looking for 32.
Oh, maybe it updated.
What was that 36?
What was that 30? Well, Drakari is sitting at 38.
Oh,
another piece of not faction great. Oh, look at Gene Stealer is 60%.
Yeah, so they only got 14 players.
Yeah, not much at all. Yeah. That's why the percentage is kind of funny. Adeptus Auroratus, I just wanted to look at that too. 22 out of 52. Where is my awesome Astra Militarum? They all dropped out. No, I'm just kidding.
Right
They're right here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was their power level. It was just that low. I didn't notice it. Yeah, it's 32. They have the lowest win rate of everybody. Even though I know it's a much better pool, but win rate, right? They only have 3 people that are still undefeated. Wow. Wow. That's hurtful. That's hurtful. But looking at that, what's going to happen in the future? Would they become better and they become one of our natural predators, and then they start gatekeeping us? That you can't go 4-0 because you're going to run to a guard player somewhere, at least in the mid table, and lose.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I might be on, reaching out here, but hey, there's a bunch of different ways that, we pointed out Leagues of Voltan being a hard matchup, and now we're looking at things, or World Eaters and such like that. So let's see. What is this happening? What?
Oh, also heard Kroot worship Gork and Mork.
That's why they're green. I'm sure. I'm sure that's why they're green. You're right. Absolutely, Wade. I'm gonna leave that up because you said that. Speaking of squigs and being worshipped, let's go.
Ooh,
Some more awesome hobby chat pictures. I want to
chunky
point out
boy.
to these awesome painters that are in our Discords. Want to give these guys love for what they're doing, anyways, because we're going to be looking at as we go into what we're looking at now. Sorry, I changed it. I click a lot of stuff, guys, a little bit. What I was going to say is 30 minutes left until we actually find out what happens to our day for our final results of the first day for LVO. This is what I really want to see, because I want to know which of my favorite dark horses, black sheep, war bosses are still undefeated. See what they say. Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say something about the picture.
Won't say it then.
Those he made those look like a real pair of jeans.
You appreciate that?
Yeah.
You appreciate that he made them look like a real pair of jeans? Yeah.
Awesome.
He did a weird like texturing with his dry brushing and
mhm.
everything. This git went off. He did a great job. He even did the gums right there
Yeah,
on the
like
tooth. I love that. Then we have a nice traditional Gaz and Makari.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
I just wanted to pull these out, guys, because I always like to go over at least a couple of my hobby chat pictures from a bunch that I like, because I like to pull out, 20 or so pictures that I really appreciate. Flash kits, if y'all must have forgot, our flash kits in the Globin points not be viable anymore. Are they going to still be around? Dude, what if in the Codex flash kits become nerfed into just crap? I didn't even think about that, really. I hadn't put thought into them, because think about it, the Deathwing Knight Terminators just got nerfed, right? Deathwing Knight Terminators can't use Thunder Hammers. They don't have flat 3 flat damage in melee anymore. What if Flash get hit with something? What if they don't have the ammo runt anymore? What if he just allows them to shoot again? Which is still a good ability, but being able to get lethal is the whole point of why you do rerolls as well. And with the built-in sustain. So what if they just change the flash kits data sheets and they've sold all their flash kits and now we're just doing nothing? I don't know why that came into mind, not to be negative, but I just want to know, are flash kits going to end up being changed? Not just post data slate. I'm saying in the codex. We got to start thinking about possible codex he gets. What is that going to look like? Because now we're looking at how much Deathwing is changing. Right. And also something I thought that was interesting was that they only got 3 detachments in their codex. Of course they have access to the normal Space Marines, right? Still.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're also a supplement.
Of course, but I'm just saying that's
the fact that they even got 3. I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's cool that they. Oh, you think it really just should have been 1? Okay,
yeah.
I think better for the game if it's just 1 for sure. Better for the game it's just 1. The tallest Death Tread of all time, by the way. Just want to pull that out. He looks great.
He looks like he's skipping
He looked great, but he looked like.
I'm sorry, it's awesome.
Yeah, he looked like he skipped like that. Yeah, that's for sure. Speaking of Bolgren, what did he say?
If we die fighting Astra Militarum, we die fighting, so it don't count.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Speaking of fighting Astra Militarum, these gets clearly looted themselves some Bolgrens after getting stuck in. Put a Grot right there, runs up to the front of his Bolgren shield. So that's what I'm talking about. I appreciate that.
A Grot can
absorb labs?
No, I was gonna say salvage the shield and go pick it up. Is he that strong to lift it?
What if he Captain America's this? Is what you're saying? If he throws this?
Oh, well, I'd be mad as an Ork telling a Grot, go get me that shield. And then he goes in and grabs it for him. And then what he gets for it is, you got to get slapped on it.
That's actually how the Grot transported it while I was sticking it to his back, dragged it over to his boss, and the boss just picked him up with it and just ran towards the fight. Yeah. Now he's just stuck in the the Grot thought he was just transporting it, and now he's just getting stuck on. Oops. That's you're right. That's more likely. That's more likely. I was thinking Captain America style where he threw the whole shield, and then when he got stuck, the Grot came back. But that doesn't make sense.
All right,
because he definitely
he walks back.
Yeah, he doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, he would have to walk back. Your theory made way more sense. So whoa to Paul Savage, because I just appreciate that comment much. Okay. Shout out to this gift for that awesome model. Shout out to Hendrick. Hendrick, if you're out there, I accidentally erased your DM. Shout out. Me back. I wanted to shout this get out too because who puts this much effort into the boys?
Dude, that he made that face look alive.
Yeah, he made it look like mine. No, I was kidding. No, that was great. Oh, what is this? This is our very first 2-month channel member flex. Is that what that is?
Is that what is he flexing?
Is that what that is?
I've never seen that before.
I don't. Wapo, we don't even know what this is, but this is awesome. Whoa! This made me wow, and I don't know what something is like. Wow, I feel like that's a member channel flex. I've never seen that, right?
Does that happen maybe because the timing?
Maybe he became a boy right now.
Maybe
Did you just turn into a boy?
Yeah, he literally turned into a boy at this moment, and because we were streaming, maybe that's why I popped up.
I've
never seen anything like that.
I've never seen that. Either way, Wapo, you're the first. That was pretty dope. So, guys, if you're a channel member, I guess more people have it and they're realizing it. Whoa, the Tomcat, let's go. Yeah. So these are like super chats, guys, that you get given to you for free if you've been a channel member long enough that you could just shout out. So here we go. So if you want to yell something at us and flex on everybody, you better flex. Nice. Wapo decided just to flex that face. I don't know what it's for, the context of the South Park face, but here it's at. But we always got one for the whoa, let's go. Let's go. I appreciate it. And that was a perfect wall because look at this boy that got all the attention in the world. Even the left side of this boy's face shooting the shooter, the fact that his face is a little reddish.
Yeah, he put color into it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. This dude is crazy. Oops, I just went the wrong direction every way. And he did another one of just a boy that's just a choppa.
Yeah, those are beautiful boys.
Those are beautiful boys with everything. And speaking of beautiful boys, don't cross a wall.
That's right.
Because we knock your teeth out. Whoa. Dude, all these membership flexes. I don't even know. Shout out to Wapo for bringing those up right away. Don't worry, Nomac. I see you in there. Grab that membership also if you can, while you can. But I am going to answer your question too. We have these boys are sick though. I just want to pull that out. That color, I always wondered what's going on with that color. Like, I don't get it. I know you guys know how to. Is this more like an olive? Like a
it looks
I don't
like
know what's happening here.
But there has to be more to just give it that depth. I wonder what he's doing.
Yeah. That's pretty sick though. Yeah, very, very good. Chainsaw. I don't paint anything good like this, you guys, just so you know. If you guys want to know where I'm at. I'm gonna leave this up because I just personally liked I like this model. I need to see more of this. Like David was saying that we need more squig stuff. I need to just see more of that. Like more squig things that just put one dude on his back or something also, or just, you know, put a giant gun and act like he's a pyrovore, but with a cannon. I don't know, just anything. I just need more squigs in my life in model form. So I'm gonna leave that up just so we can.
Infiltrating squig.
I'm gonna leave this up just so you guys can think of infiltrating squigs right now. I'm gonna leave that up. But I'm gonna a few of these chats. You guys keep throwing stuff at me. I'd love to answer. So I've been struggling against them nids. They just throw chaff at me, shooting me, and then waiting for my charge to counter. One, that's where having first of all, that's what they do, right? The whole point of nids as a whole is what they actually have over us is their shooting is just strong enough at the right profile they can actually kill us with flat damage 3, and it's odd volume. Their melee is equivalent to normally they lack the AP, yet they have damage 3 and a bunch of volume of punches that they can do. They have weird flamethrowers. So their weakness normally is offense is just enough to overcome orcs. So I'm not telling you that to be scared of them. It's for you to know that when other people are complaining about them, don't think of that when it applies to us as our faction. What we need to do as orc players is put constant pressure on them and put them on the back foot because they're trying to score fixed secondaries for the most part. And they're trying to bog us back because once we do touch them, we obliterate them too. But they want to take that initiative from us by throwing chaff at us, like let's say gargoyles double moving. So one thing that I throw on my list, I'll put flash kits. I'll disembark flash kits early in the game instead of putting them in reserves instead. If you're going to shoot your extra cream as my flash kits, you didn't shoot my Squig Hog boys. Most likely you didn't pop my trucks. Most likely you didn't shoot my Beast Snagger boys on foot that are running up the table and knobs, whatever. You shot into my back line, which you're not really looking to do as a nids layer necessarily. So that's one thing is I'll disembark the flash kits because what I'm looking to do is open up those lanes from those chaff. If they move the lane into my lane, I'll overwatch those chaff. So just eliminate them from just being there so they can't stage in front of me. Another thing you want to do is that's where scouting or possibly infiltrating units like a commando, so you can get up and get the chaff off you earlier in the game right off the bat, not take overwatch either when you're doing it. Then something like a Death Killer War Trike, that's why we consider he's awesome. Auto advancing up the board quickly. He doesn't just get picked up. He's going to have to absorb some of those extra crane shots. So you get a whole extra turn of staging. So take the mid board earlier is one thing I'm advising. You choose how you're going to do that. 2 is be prepared to throttle into them as soon as you can, because that you can't be waiting and staging with them because they want to dissect you. So as soon as you get past that one line of them throwing you down, it's over, right? If you do clear the screen by overwatching him with flash kits, if you do go start touch yourself with Death Killer War Check and they have to overinvest in him, you can now stage and get out and just wall and pick up everything. And that's what you should do. It's not easy. It's not easier said than done. As you've seen, they actually have a great win rate into us. So, but those are the things you need. If you lack those tools, they can do all those things to you and dissect you. What's another chat here? I'm gonna change this picture real quick, and then we're gonna go see with some of the results too, if anything's changed from our Gits. Whoa! So you Gits, Zach, did you get your? I think he got his. He won the member. He's one of the raffle members, Zach. So Zach Shuck, let's go.
Yeah, let us know if you got that.
Collect your memberships too, Gits, if you haven't. He let me know he got them.
Okay, awesome.
And Tomcat, you don't get one free to month. What it is you get one. You get one per every like threshold you meet. I think it is. So I think
for what?
For the free
for that
for the flex membership flex chat. I think it's when you reach a threshold. So like when you mature into a boy, I think you get one. Then probably when you become like a death dread at the 6 month or whatever. Each one of those, I think, is when you get the membership flex. When you reach the next threshold. Like that. And I think Zach was going on to the next level and he accidentally got rid of his. Yeah, you know, if you're giving them gifted to you, it will sometimes recycle them. But if you're not aware of it and you're not doing it yourself, then they'll be gone. But like Fighting Fedora says, if you renew it, it counts for all the previous ones. So that's pretty sick from Fighting Fedora letting us know. So that's pretty great, right? Just like this Pain Boss is pretty great. This Pain Boss, I want to start using it at Pain Boss. Is why I'm glad. We don't know what's gonna happen in data slate, but I'm glad I picked one up because I actually lacked the model. Shout out to these this rocket truck, sorry, this buggy. This is the boom duck snapdragon, I believe. This is the only one I actually don't own. Thanks, you guys. I just bought some flash kits, so I tried them good use. Yeah, what people kind of forget now, there's multiple foods for thought of like trains of thought of how you're going to use your flash kits. Some people are like, put them off the table, bring them in reserve, shoot out the truck once you come in reserve. They blow up your truck, then you get out of the truck, and then you move, so you get multiple activations. Totally understand that. Definitely nothing wrong with that. Yet, where I find them in some matchups to be quite useful is where you disembark them in a lane that you want to occupy and you overwatch things that are trying to fill up that lane and slow down your progression movement, or chipping down maybe something that's thick like a vehicle, like T11 vehicle, or like killing it, right? Like one squig bomb, maybe 2 squig bombs, and then your flash kits popping their ammo run, shooting a soul grinder does actually kill off a whole soul grinder. So you can do stuff like that where there's certain T11 units you can actually shoot off the table too early in the game, that are maybe staging to kill your stuff. Or if you have to pop transports, you could. I don't really do it with that, but there's all these different scenarios because some people are playing casually think that way too. I'm talking to all you gets is that's when you disembark those flash kits in your other line, understand that if the enemy chooses to shoot them, they might not end up shooting all the other stuff in your front line that's staging that's actually going to score you the game and win you the game. Because a lot of the time, flash kits barely move once they disembarked, you know? So, and if they do move, they fight pretty good at strength 5 with like 40 punches. So don't forget that either. Once they start disembarking, go ahead and start charging something because you can take up different lanes in the road. And I love this war boss right here is why I did this. I think they just like war bosses need to look more like this in my opinion. A bigger like upper body and thickness, a bit longer but not too long in their upper body thickness, because these are knobs, but he looks like an actual war boss compared to if I stick a war boss in there, he just looks like a slightly thicker knob. Right. This guy looks like, not just because his foot pedestal, but how he's built and how his claw looks a little bit more adapted, and his upper actual torso, like of his chest, is bigger. This is how I actually want knobs to look. So let's look at how people are doing now at this point with 15 minutes. I assume there's going to be a good amount of people that are hopefully done. So let's see. Besides Sean, I guess he just want to be done.
It's close game, man.
And you know what? Because he runs the knob with wall banner, the boys and stuff like that, it seems like he kind of gets close to timing out. Right? Because I mean, that's, if you guys watched the other video when I did, went to the GT and I was like, I'm going to bring the knob with wall banner, but I ended up not doing it. I said in my video, one of the reasons I didn't is because I was worried about timing out.
Right.
So, what was the
Richard? Did Richard? I think we still playing.
Richard. Nope.
I don't know. He's still going.
Who are the other guys? Max.
Max. Oh, all right. Let's go.
Let's go, Max Cantor.
Oh.
Whoa, who did you just beat the crap out of? We were just looking at this.
Leagues of Voltan.
Let's go. So, redemption a little bit for Tyler. Let's look at this Leagues of Voltan list real quick in response. This one has Hearthkin. Still, a buttload of Sagittariums.
5.
Still 2 Zerkers.
Here we go.
2 bricks of those Terminators.
Yep.
And then 3 of the Pioneers. It didn't have the Land Fortress.
Oh, that's right.
Land Fortress, what it does, you can
like
stick them on the middle objective sometimes too. He has more transports. Yeah, I'd like to hear how Tyler drop, had a hard time in that game. Not so much of those guns. There's they have great strats too, dude. Those gunner guys, I forgot about it, but they have great strats that we could pull up too.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting, especially with that score of just 40 points.
Yeah, and then because they're playing the same mission hypothetically. So great job, Max. I'm gonna get this one more time for my own sake. Oops. I guess I'm just gonna change the score. No, I'm kidding. What is this going on here? I'm the top person list. He has a big 20-man unit of Beast Snagger Boys with gas, super cyborg body, Captain Battle. Oh, this is such a fun list too, dude. Battle Wagon, Squigs, double Squigs. I want some knobs. I want more infantry for moving through buildings, but that's my personal what I like. What were the other list? Antonio. We already looked at him, didn't we?
He won, right? Yeah, I think he already won.
I think he already won.
No, we didn't see it. He's right there. He's at the bottom.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, but he ended up winning.
Oh, he did win. Okay, Antonio. What are you going to? I did it again. Sorry, guys. Antonio. Who are you going to?
Imperial Knights.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we. I'm no offense. I'm
yeah. There's. You can see how he won that one.
Great job. Still though, you still 280. Let's go. Got to put him in that. Gargantuan Squig off. Not really. Imperial Knights aren't necessarily a great game for
that specifically
for a Gargantuan Squig off. I might look at that later in this week. Who else was there we were looking at? We already seen Brad Chester. We already seen. I have the people's names right here. We already know Frank. We already know Tyler
Connor?
lost.
No, Connor already.
No, we haven't done.
Oh no, he was still.
We were looking at Connor's. Oops, I clicked that guy. Sorry. These are for me, guys, because I'm interested. Because on my WAAAGH days, I like to look at some of these. So these guys will go more.
He's still going.
Gang, boy.
Some close games.
There we go, Connor.
These are the top players in the world.
That's true, dude. Getting stuck in. Some of them are. So Connor's still going. Richard, he won, right?
Yeah, Richard won. Sean Naden's still going.
Sean's still going.
Brad won.
If
you want to add Max and which he won.
Antonio.
They both won.
Nice. So that's several. So I'm just peeking track, guys, because I want to know all the Orc players that are doing excellent.
So far, 4 undefeated Orc players.
So 4 out of the
possibly 2
out
more.
of the 7 that we were looking at, actually. Shout out to Tyler, dude. Still much love. You're still really cool. Still a great player.
Yeah, I'm sure he's still gonna do great.
Yeah. So yeah, this was the list that beat Tyler. It broke here. You want to look at some of their strats real quick too.
Well, they had the Overwatch on 5.
Yeah, they do that. But I mean, I have a feeling that Leagues of Voltan player got a little lucky. I don't know, man. It's just because I've Leagues of Voltan, when we talk to them and deal with them, they're just like, hey, when I lose to Orks, it's because I staged incorrectly, or if I murked Orks, I just overkilled them. I mean, it might be a strat I'm missing or something that I'm not thinking of. What?
He could have rolled hot because it's a D6 shots with that gun. The blast cannon.
Well, and then also the conversion means D3 on the 4 means those automatically converge on that converse.
Yeah,
but
that's
still,
only one shot though.
I mean, they become more, but I get what you're saying.
Unit? Is it multiple?
5 guys.
Oh, everyone has a conversion?
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It can become kind of outrageous. But that's where I'm going along the lines of this guy kind of just seems like he kind of got a little intense. So yeah, that's cool. Shout out to Brad for doing that too. Bam, bam.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens.
I wonder if this has changed. Let me update this live document. Has this changed yet? No, I don't think this changed yet.
No.
Nope. Still says 2. Oops. I'm still very much interested. How many Orc players are going to be undefeated after 10 minutes from now?
I think we'll have 6.
You think 6?
Yeah, because we have 4 right now, and then Sean Naden and.
You seen at least 6, or you thinking there'll be more that we didn't cover?
Oh, I hope there.
Yeah, I hope there's more. Yeah, I hope there's more other ones. I hope there's more other Orc players.
Do another search real quick. It'll
Oh
pop
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot of players, so for it to load, I could see it.
Mhm.
It's
taking
easy
a
to
while.
miss.
Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to put this
Oh,
into regard. So this, guys, before you guys all get freaked out,
I'm
this
freaked
was
out.
someone.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Someone took. Remember, guys, we think possibly Yarrick's dead. They took Yarrick's head and they put it on a war boss's body and mega armor. So this is a armored war boss, armored Yarrick. Bam. So if Yarrick became a war boss fully and fully commissioned, he like finished his transition into becoming an orc. This is his Yarrick. See, I'm not making things up. This is this man's Yarrick. All right. So shout out to you. It's an awesome paint job. Is also another reason why I throw it on. It was really sick. Really unique kind of looking boy there. Look at that.
Damn, look at that.
Look at that booty. All right. So
the axe is intimidating.
yeah. So let me see what some of you get said. I'm gonna leave this up for a second. Oh, Wicked Joe. I could have sworn you were there for propelling for LVO stream, and I could have sworn I said wear some good shoes. I could have sworn I said you're gonna possibly have some chafing anti-chafing cream right there. Didn't I say that? Didn't I show you this? Didn't I show you this? Y'all don't listen. Y'all don't think I love you. And you know what? You don't listen to me. You don't love me either. All right. So we got I cry when the Flash gets hit super hard. They become my favorite unit. Yeah, they've become a lot of people's favorite unit. They're just so they get to punch, shoot, they re-roll, they make other armies feel the same way that you feel. And they're like, ha, I've overwatched you and shot you to oblivion. Dude, I shot Tau and I was overwatching them and picking up their units in Overwatch. I was like, feels annoying, right? So very, very cool. Yeah. So do I think, I don't know. This is a good topic too when we talk about orc models. There's a good chance, boys, that Captain BADROCK gets a new model. Ooh, just saying. He's in orc lore actual books. Check out our shorts that we did if you want to hear about orc lores books real quick. Like which ones to listen to. But he's in some of the orc lore books. Pretty awesome. His model disappeared from the store. So GW is either repackaging them with a dumb new package for no reason on an old kit, or they're preparing to put on new kits from all those resin orc characters or some of them. Or they're going to Legends. All right, so
on the question of whether or not they get super hard, hit super hard, if they do, I think it has to be because of the detachment abilities and the possible combos.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see what they come.
That's true, right? If you just see their rules and not have the context of their faction abilities, don't get too discouraged or too dismayed.
All right, hoping for new tank busters with the Codex. I was running a SWAT truck before it was called that with them and Knobs in 9th.
There we go. That means you're a proper war boss. Hey, we're not saying we're the original foreseers of the SWAT, but we are the ones calling it the SWAT. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing, guys. All these other communities have their things. We have our own orc community. So many people are good painters and hobbyists and players and such. You know what? We're coming to the SWAT. We're coming with the scalpel unit. We got all the names for all the gets. Never let it forget. So let's keep it going. And then we have Joe running with that. Oh, yeah, Joe, don't be listening. What do you say? Played in my 4th or 5th game of 40K. I know. And you know what? One of your those 5 games was against me. Huh? That was fun. That's my Yarrick. Yeah, Yarrick. It's crazy how this Yarrick that was showing you his booty. And your painting scheme is pretty sick. I just want to show off that grot real quick on the side. Your painting scheme is good.
Dude,
pretty sick too.
Greens he has right there on the clip.
I don't even, my brain hardly comprehends how you even got to this. Right? I hardly comprehend how you got to this. Then here's a sick, awesome looking Death Dread too. Let me see what other gets. He said, Gaz would never let Yarrick die. Not without one last fight together. And that's what happened. He got brought up like this. Let's go. There's a great picture. I like this one. And then we have Whoa, and a Hoton Rock for listening to the boys. Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
John Otto, because John Otto was shout out. I was going to go to that event too. They have our pastime RTT, the one last weekend. Represent Wall Tactics, my boy. Last weekend I got 3rd undefeated there at that event. Or last month 3rd undefeated at that RTT. So be prepared. A lot of those people like to bring Space Marines, Power Armor, Gun Lines, Eldar, and that terrain at that event does have a couple of tables do have some hard lines of sight to try to avoid. So be prepared, my fellow war boss. So 8 minutes left until the end of this round, my gits. Who are we waiting for, Sean?
Let's see. Let's pull it out. Let's go.
Boom. There we are. Let's go with his 90. He just got to keep around those 90s. So he went into that weird gene steal list. He occupied too much space. That's the one thing about the knob blob. if he can disembark it, get it where he wants, then he just touching everything all over the field. When they come out and they demand a shit, he's still scoring and doing all his thing, and he can punch out their little blobs because he actually has the volume to keep
Right.
punching those. I'd like to hear what units and stuff you really like too. So if anyone knows Sean Latham, give him a shout out because we cover him and talk about that a little bit all the time. So let's see what's going on here. Who else do you want to cover? Did we say who was the other person? Sorry, I had it written right here for myself.
Connor.
It was Connor?
Boy Connor.
All right, let's see my boy Connor.
Oh, he's still going.
Dang, Connor, where you at? Oh, right there. Okay, we're gonna leave that because Connor is the last one out of our war bosses that we were covering for how they're doing at this event. So if you guys know, it was Tyler Russo, Drop Game 3, Connor Haugen, he's still going. Richard Kilton 1, Sean Naden 1, Brad Chester 1, Max Kenton, I forgot his name 1, Antonio 281. So those are at least several of our hopefully six of our 7 still 2-0 war bosses. I'm really voting for Connor here in this one. Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I feel like that's just gonna be a thing. We're gonna start saying anytime we see gargantuan squiggle.
Whenever I see a gargantuan squiggle, we're saying if she ain't 280, don't let it go in chat. All right. If you guys ever see a gargantuan squiggle brought up again at all, you just say, hey, if she ain't 280, she can't get in my gargantuan squiggle. All right. That's our new thing. I love it. Antonio, you freak. All right. I wonder if the chat's like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, this is loading right now. Connor, I'm gonna wait 1 second.
Yeah, it's 5
minutes. So yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy. All right, I think that's it for the pictures. Bam, one tactics. So shout out to the community there. I appreciate you. Gets. Hold on, let me pull up. Here's my face again. Sorry, guess I'm pulling some up. Don't be dismayed. We'll pull up a list possibly that I wanted to cover. Boom.
Oh, that's your notes.
These are my notes. Never mind. That do not be alarmed by my misclick. Let's do it again.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Burster Brigade.
We have the Burster Brigade. Let's get it. So we have Captain. We have Captain Mazrog, War Boss, Flash Gits, Double War Boss, Triple Kill Tanks.
Ooh,
with
the kill tanks.
With what though? What is he running? They're running the Burster Cannon. Okay. People argue for the Giga Shooter a bit. The boss actually does. 1 unit of Ludas, 2 3-man units of Mega Knobs. Knobs. So this is one of those things where I wonder with this list, when you run to World Eaters, what are you gonna do? Right after that. What are you gonna do? I wonder about World Eaters in this matchup. What else?
What are you gonna score points with?
This is when you take fixed. I assume he's taking fixed because these 3-man unit of Mega Knobs are at least probably gonna go sit in the middle of the table. I wonder if the Ludas were just like, I just have points. Right. I just have 50 points.
How many aggression? He has 2 units of aggression.
Yeah, and this is the big boss Brandon. You know, he actually who got me the 3 triple kill tanks. He's the one who put me on the kill tanks to begin with. But that's the one thing I wanted to point out. You're probably gonna do fixed. I would consider running these together just so I have one big power punch somewhere in my list. I could just gut out the enemy problematic melee unit. And so I can enjoy fight and death, because nothing on your list appreciates fight on death. You don't have anything that I really love using CP on other than Artisan Ales. Otherwise, what are you going to get your CP out of? Nothing that even punches enough volume either. So no Unbridled Carnage target. There's a couple things right here that I'm not loving. I'm not trying to be mean on this person's list. I'm just pointing out the things that we want to keep aware of when we're making these. So when you make these kind of lists, I would really sway you into dropping at least one of those kill tanks, bringing a different version of a transport, maybe like a battle wagon, and putting stuff in there to kind of occupy the table, and a couple more trucks, which Brandon has done in the past. He brought trucks to supplement his kill tanks, that when they got popped, stuff continue to move the table, and so he didn't stuck up in lanes. So shout out to Big Boss Brandon. Let's go. Then we have, let me shoot this. I want to look at my boy. Is he there yet? With 2 minutes left, boys. 3 minutes left.
Coming down to the wire.
Should I just wait? I feel like I'm just going to wait until...
I think we should just wait, because even once the time's remaining, if it is a close game, the scores still need to be reported, and it could be 5 minutes after the actual timer's over. Sure.
Oh, and right here, John Otto, Giga Shooters, 30 hits. So John Otto is one of those gets that keeps saying, hey, man, I'm telling you, the Giga Shooter just for straight volume and sustain, having that going off matters a lot compared to unreliable 3d6, unreliable wounding and hitting potential. I'm probably only putting 3 wounds into what I'm targeting. It's probably still taking a 4-up or a 3-up saving cover. That's what John kind of presents with the cannon, and why he presents the Giga Shooter instead. So consider the Giga Shooters too, because it really does stick to the Ork formality of more volume is better.
Yeah, volume
Right?
solves problems.
Yeah. So John Otto is still staying on that. I'm not gonna. Thanks for bringing that up. That's why I listen to you guys as well, right? Because it's not necessarily that I'm saying I'm right or that you're right. I want everybody to know, because each individual one of you gets knows what you're lacking and what you care about, because you're thinking of a matchup in your head. If you're getting bogged down by Tyranid bodies, you're like, oh, I need more Giga cannons.
Right.
If you're fighting a bunch of 3 wound models, you're thinking, oh, I need more cannons to shoot people up. So, yeah, awesome. Hey, David, tell David.
Oh, we need a Squiggoth icon in Gargantuan. Whoa,
Yeah,
that is true.
Death Killer Wartrike icon here soon at this point, right? Oh, he said there might be drops. They're waiting for their plane using the app to drop ASCP after the final round. Yeah, it's common for day one, guys, for people. Wicked Joe, this is actually something I want to bring up too. Very common if you go to even a GT, people who either had hard days, you never know what happens.
Right.
You know, stuff comes up in life, they have to drop their day one. There's times where the dude's undefeated and they drop after day one. So that's something we have to keep in mind too. So it's good you brought that up, Wicked Joe. You know, hopefully you don't drop, because LVO is a lot. So I still recommend get in there, get all your games in, have a good time, sit down. If your feet aren't good, go to sleep early tonight, drink plenty of water, actually listen to my advice. You know, go if your hotel has something for like a fee or pool or something, go chill there. If not, just elevate your feet and relax. And I know you're like, man, but I'm out here for this day. I know, but you have 2 more days there. It's the longevity. You got to think about the long term, right? Logistics wins wars. Handsome Grot's on the stream. Oh, I'm not a Grot though. You get the backhanded compliment. What's up? You think I didn't notice that? Whoa! All right, so let's see. The Flash gets room. I'm working on that custom Flash gets battle wagon that might run as a truck too. You got to show that in chat, because that's gonna look crazy. That's gonna look crazy. Is that gonna be the right proper size portions? Land Steely 240. David, let Dogdacious and Land Steely know how they can get to accept those WAAAGH memberships, because I don't understand how these gets are still looking like oomies.
Right. What's going on?
Right? If you ain't green, you ain't mean, you ain't a lean, mean, grinding, fighting machine, boys. You looking like a umi. Let's go. All right, David.
Yeah, guys. So just check your option, your settings in the stream. Make sure that it's turned on to accept gifts. And if you still can't get the membership, you have to go to advanced settings in your YouTube account and make sure that you're not under a brand account. If you are, it's just going to give you the option there to switch over to a personal account, and then you can accept the gifts. And it'll be automatic too once you have all those open.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. And this is the last gift.
Overtime.
They're overtime by this much.
That's the first time I've ever seen that. An overtime timer.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were there, they didn't have an overtime counter, right?
No. But
and my day 3 was
we're
cake.
also not these top players either.
Who is it? Huh? Hey, whoa, whoa, dude. What do you? Hey, man. Don't spill the beans. People don't know I'm the best in the world. Hello. The heck? All right. We got. Who's Connor's left? Connor, let's see how much. Connor, you better stop being overtime, boy. We're all waiting for you. I swear, boy. Man, I'm about to give you a yellow flag with them yellow teeth, boy. All right, Connor, you penalized.
I'm sure they're just talking it out at this point.
Yeah, they're most likely trying to get it on.
Yeah, the overall score.
Oh, what's here? Gladiator collected a membership. Whoa! Shout out to Thoncat. Let's go. All you get, man, the WAAAGH's growing, you guys, just so you guys know. Keep it up. We appreciate you guys greatly. Tell us what more content and things you guys want to see, how we can improve. We're always listening. We're always aware and willing. It's fun. We appreciate you gets. But we don't appreciate Connor taking forever to give us our score though, right?
Right. Yeah,
2 minutes over, yellow card. Bam. No. But with that said, guys, as we look over,
I'd be mad if it's just like a blowout in his game. Like what?
We waited all this for 100 to 4. I mean, man. One thing I just wanted to say is Will Death Guard? We're gonna look at 5 or 6 of these factions that I think what we're gonna look at them if they get changes, and there's gonna be positive, negative, how it's gonna affect Orks. Give your feedback real quick. Am I wrong? Am I right? And why? Blah blah blah. Let me know. We can all kind of agree on this because the data slate's coming, and people talking about what's happening to us. So many people look inward and they don't think about what happens to everybody else on the battlefield and how our matchups changes into them. A lot of times they're me. But when do you hear a faction go, what about the gits that are already hard into us or doing bad? Like Astra Militarum.
Right.
This is something that I'm really paying attention to. I've seen the win rate as low as 37 into Astra Militarum. In these last couple months. They get a points decreases across the board. They get stronger and keep most of their indirect. Because not that their indirect super reliable, that's just why they beat Orks. It's everything that compounds with that, and their ability to dissect us indirectly also makes it just horrible. So if they give them buffs to their shooting and their tanks and they just have more stuff, but they still have indirect access, do they just beat us even quicker? Do they just raffle stomp us even better? Right? Like, does that change and become a worse matchup? Tyranids. People always complain about Tyranids. They actually have a codex. They're already suffering the codex creep by being one of the newest codexes. Not codex creep, sorry. Being the first codex in an edition. Right, a lot of times people say if you're one of the first codexes in the edition, you quickly fall off and become weak through the whole edition. Tyranids are already looking like they're falling prey to that. Is GW going to fight, put them stronger into the faction as a whole, give them maybe more cheaper monsters so they can run even more monsters with Orks don't want to see, because then they can take up the bodies, push it on the back foot, and then present more cheap monster bodies into us. Then we try to trade expensive killing with it. These are things that you got to think about as Ork players too. Is these guys nobody cares about right now because they're not bullies, but they're direct bothersome to us. Leagues of Voltan, we know they're probably going to get hit in the ways we want them to. We want Terminators to get cheaper. We want the transport to get cheaper. We already know that. Eldar, we already know that. Death Guard probably going to stay the same. But the Astra Militarum Tyranids, or right here, Adeptus Custodes, barely sitting at 50%. Grey Knights, barely sitting at 50%. What happens when these factions get a strength increase because people don't find them respectable enough? They could quickly sway into a very hard matchup. Custodes with all their fighting first, with their reducing damage, with their feel no pain, with their just so many different abilities in there. And then Grey Knights with their ability to just take all over the table, put us in a points deficit, have great anti-infantry to pick up all of our infantry in their game, dev wounds that deal with gas in a certain way. Things can get out of hand if GW, does certain things. So I want to just, as a community, look at that and maybe boys start thinking about that, giving me some more ideas, because we think about that now preemptively. As soon as the changes hit, we start thinking about solutions if those come forward that we're thinking about, right? So let's see how Connor did for the very last time, because I'm tired of you, Git. Just kidding, Connor. What's happening? Stay a little bit. No, that's why I came so low.
I call it recount.
Recount. Full out. Oh yeah, I clicked it again, guys. My fat fingered it. Oh no, this was Connor's list with the triple war bosses and the Zod.
Those 20 grots too much.
20 grots.
You did mention it earlier.
I wonder. Against T-Suns too.
And
because they have the fire.
This is the one I was most confident of.
You were feeling confident too. It's weird how that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weird how that happens. Well, Zangors can punch grots. I'm joking. That's not why he lost, probably. But I'm just saying that. Okay, shout out to Connor. So we did lose another war boss there today. What I want to see is, did this change now? Because this was changing in real time earlier. I don't think it's done it yet, though.
I think it did.
You think it did?
Yeah, because Space Marines were at 46, now they're 44.
No, it still says 12 for Orks.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they gotta manually update every army.
Yeah,
so
they're gonna manually.
Especially Sean or Connor just finished. There's gonna be one of the last ones to get touched.
Yeah.
But I'm saying.
So before we end the stream, I'm gonna look at that one more time. Let me get rid of this. Okay, cool. Well, now we know how some of the Ork players are going. Round 3, how it went. Let me refresh this as I get this off the stream. Let me look at what you got to say in the chat. Fantastic. All right, guys, we'll be coming to a close at about maybe 2 hours in, but five more minutes or so.
Yeah, I think so.
Because we kind of covered the things we wanted to cover anyways. So let's see. We got the wall. Thank you, Tomcat. Dice boxes. Make dice boxes. Oh yeah, John's seen our dice box in person.
Man.
You know, that's someone that makes them. Where we're gonna website. David, you tell them about that because people are asking about shirts too. Tell me what you're thinking.
So yeah, we're at a stage right now where we're just waiting on some legal processes to get through so we can actually start selling things. But the website is one of those things that's being held up by that, and yeah, we're gonna try to get that stuff out to you guys as soon as possible. So keep on the lookout. We'll make an announcement when it's all ready, and yeah, we're excited to
Yeah.
sell some shirts to you guys with these custom designs that we got.
Yeah, so let me take this heck when we get to that point, and anything you guys want that we're gonna look at. I think we're good with this one, right, David?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, the LVO thing right now for now.
Mhm.
All right. I think this is it. So you get, let's see. Custodes are about to be hard watch. I mean, yeah, I can see as soon as they get an increase here or there, if they get cheaper, more bodies on the table, that could be harder for us. Because man, sometimes when I play against Orks, I'm like, oh, I have just enough that I killed you, yes, because you know, I'm like, oh, I'm just barely pull it out against them once in a while when we play, because you're killing them almost to the wound when you can kill those units, or they just don't hit you back enough and you barely survive. Right, because they have perfect profiles for killing Orks too.
Right.
It's like, oh, the only thing they really struggle against is Maz and stuff, you know. He said, "What's up, Mark Bruce? With the Bruce? Whoa! What's up, guys?
Mark
You
Bruce.
guys are still killing it." Why you laughing?
No, I just recognized because of his thumbnail.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Mark the Bruce.
Yeah, he was one of our early gets.
Yeah, for sure. We were talking about the when you were pointing out this Thousand Sun for sure, and he said, "Still killing it." Well, glad you're back and still talking to us. What's up? And then Land Steel. He said, "Need a membership badge."
Facebook group.
Oh, sorry. I read that. I'm just messing with you. I'm just joking. He said needs a Facebook group. Okay. I guess that's kind of my responsibility, huh? I agree. A Facebook group could help. Help with what? So you can reach out, talk to me more?
Yeah, do they want more of the
No,
warballs?
I guess I'm not on the Discord enough. You guys,
You
and
got
any of
all
you guys
these-
that are in the Discord, remember, at me. You know what I'm saying? If you ever talk at Discord and you guys want to see me and talk to me, I try not to like be intrusive in every conversation and every topic and everything that's shown, because then it's just like, the heck, this guy ever shut up? I mean, we're trying to talk to each other. I like always respond though if you at me. Like if you show me a list or a picture or want me to reply to something, or you want to give me a criticism, like just at me, and I'm always pretty much going to see it and talk about it. So yeah, that's another thing, right? So Facebook group, I don't know. I don't could be an interesting maybe once a little bit. But like Tomcat said, the action is Discord. I see no reason spreading the action thin, the other platform. I think the only reason it would be was to either show people more about Discord, or there's some people that just don't use Discord ever because they just want to stick to Facebook and Facebook groups.
Right, and a lot of people have Facebook.
It's way more common. Like I didn't even really use Discord that often before,
Right,
or Facebook. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people are like, "Hey, I like to use Facebook," because it's just like a more common social media platform as a whole, like internationally, communicable for people. They don't want to have more apps and other apps. They want to just have one, get everything they need out of it, and exit out. And just for our age groups, I mean, I don't know how low some of you guys are, but you know, I'm 30, 31. You know, people are between late 20s or early 40s or even late 40s. They're more familiar with Facebook and rather just stay using that.
Right, and because it's such a big platform, it provides a better user experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just easier to use.
So I will. So you know what, Steele, because you're right. I should. Oh, it's clunky, and I'm sub on Patreon. There we go. See, and you're right, because some people on Patreon they want to use it. So I'll get on that, try to figure out a Facebook. We use the face that we use for this thumbnail as my picture. Just that'll be our new thing. But no, I'm just joking. But okay, and I like that. That's a good feedback right there. Then I guess we'll have that as my food for thought for today. And how the Orks are doing. So we have several, at least half a dozen left of undefeated Ork players that are 3-0, that are doing great, right? People that we're familiar, we've seen on the channel. We've seen on the channel before that we've covered their list. Gaz all over the place. Shout out to me and David. Shout out to Def Killer Wartrike. Shout out to me and David.
Throw Brandon in there.
And then Schwar Boss Brandon. Sorry, Big Mac Brandon in there too. I'm just saying, when I say me and David, I'm joking with us, because what we're saying is we just constantly show this to the channel. and people that we've seen from other people, and just trying to regurgitate it, show you guys back to you, explain it, make it more clear on why people might be doing these. And we were up, right? Mm-hmm. So we were up, and it was still going up. So I mean, it was right, and a lot of people, you know, are obviously subscribed. All those guys with huge channels are obviously all just subscribed to us and just, you know, only listen to our advice.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. You're welcome.
No. It's really cool to see. I mean, can you guys imagine how this is going to look when we have a codex and we're doing the same thing, but we're covering all the different codex type lists? Because if there's this variety, and you can see this now, imagine we have different codexes and crazy gits running of these different detachments.
Ooh. Yeah, and when the codex
can't wait to prove you gets wrong some more. No, I'm just kidding.
Another difference is when the codex comes out, we have all you guys in the Discord to share ideas, bounce ideas off each other. So it's going to be even better than when it was when we started, when it was just us two. Hey, why did you stop at late 40s?
Oh, sorry. Early 50s, you know, late 50s, early 60s, late 65, 70. You're a tough get. Oh my God, you're out here still doing events. Loving that the trike and gas are now staples. I never lost faith. Yeah, and we didn't lose faith either, but you've been an OG, so you knew that. You're probably one of the first people talking about them, if anything, still about that. And yeah, I think it's crazy how the Death Killer War Trike appeared on lists that didn't even have miles or had duality. I really appreciate that. But gas, man, I really like gas. I hope the list that has gas goes really far. That's what I'm hoping for. Or Death Killer War Trip. I'll accept either of those, really. That'd be sick. But they need a knob list, a knob unit list. He's saying dual stream. I don't know if anybody uses Rumble yet for 40K, but the idea of what you're saying is definitely
it's not a bad idea. We just have to see if our streaming service has that support.
Yeah, and we have the mech boss Dave is what he's calling you. Whoa, and we need more DACA. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. So all right, you get. Orks are doing great. We're gonna look at this, you know, while we got our WAAAGH Wednesday. We're gonna go over all the the results from this weekend, not just this event, but this is like a peek on people. We know how they're doing, what they're looking like. We got the theme. We can see Gaz is very popular. Death Killer War Trikes are popular. Knobs are very popular. Squigs are very popular. Boom. That being said, we can assume what's going to come next. We hope some more previews are going to come out, more ideas of the data slate, who's going to become our new upcoming predators, our new upcoming rivals going forward, and maybe we won't get touched, and then our codex comes out, spins us all on our head, and then we go everywhere. So shout out to all the guests that we covered today. Shout out to Brad Chester. Shout out to Tyler Russo. Shout out to all of our favorite gets like Sean Naden, Richard Kilton, Connor Haugen, Antonio with the 280. If you can't get him, I grant you a squig off. And then, of course, the Max. So shout out to you, Gits. But one thing to keep in mind to even you, Gits, is don't cross our wall because we knock your teeth out. Whoa!